All right, everybody, how's it going? Welcome to episode 23 of the Cross Your Bow podcast. I am, of course, your host, Sir Venom IK. With me, joining me again for the, what is this, second time?
Second time?
Second time, my man, Mr. Khreegor. What is up, Khreegor? How are you doing today, man?
Man, I'm off work. I can't complain too loud now.
Yeah, well, so let's see, how long has it been since you've been on? About a month or so?
Uh,
I know it's
two,
been
I think.
it's been 2 months. What you been working on for 2 months?
Man, just warships. We got the shooting ship panel. Got to, you know, cut my teeth on casting tournaments with the War Games event, and then King of the Seas all the way up through quarters.
Nice.
So, yeah, been a ton of fun. Been busy.
Sounds like it. I know this week I took 2 days off. I was off the last 2 days. Wife was out of town, so I was doing some adulting. And, adulting kind of sucks, but sometimes you have to. So no, we didn't stream, and the space battles came out, and I'm excited to come play these a little bit tonight.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. I'm trying to get the launcher redone. It's acting up for me here, so I can get all patched for some space battles.
Oh, this leads us right into my very first question, Khreegor. We can get green AP shells, one month out of the year. Why can't they just implement it into the game the rest of the year?
I've been curious about that one for a while. A lot of folks don't pay enough attention to that small dot on the screen to see what they're firing. Usually they'll fire 2 or 3 salvos before they realize they've got the wrong one.
Yeah.
Because, don't get me wrong, not glowing hot should be noticeable for a lot of folks, but people still miss it. So yeah, I don't know what the deal with that one is, but I think, I don't know. It could be because they want to keep those captains that can do that more unique, but at the same time,
well, I mean, even then, I know the Yamamoto guy and the Halsey guy. They both have the red trails, the contrails, and I think Ovechkin's got the blue contrails coming off the back of the shells. I want the damn shells to come in at different colors, because there's some still to this day. There's some maps that when they're shooting in at us, man, I just can't see them. I can't dodge nothing. It's a pain in the butt. So give me the option there without having to go to mods, because I'm not a mod user guy. So.
No, I'm trying to stay pretty Puritan. I have started to stick with the ones I got to do King of the Seas, because visually, for the stream, people like it a lot more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're doing something like that, then fine. But for my own personal taste, dude, I'm just kind of vanilla, bro. I know a lot of other people's are vanilla, but either way, that's that wasn't really part of the podcast. I was thinking about that today, and I was just like, thought I'd throw that out there. All right, boys. First thing in the news, the Azuma. Let's talk about the Azuma here for a second. Now, I'm kind of upset at the Azuma, not for the Azuma by itself or how much it costs $1 million free XP. What I'm upset is the amount of time between the Alaska and the Azuma have come out. The lapse of time, it's less than a month between the two of them that have come out, and they're both $1 million free XP. That is not enough time. I'm sorry, for even somebody like me who plays 6 to 8 hours every day, that's not enough time to collect $1 million free XP.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that one. So, yeah, I think the whole delay with that one, and it was something we were talking about, and we commented a few times, and then we gave up before you got your CC spot, was, guys, the Alaska is supposed to be a free XP. You're talking about the Azuma. If we can't get this Alaska done sometime soon, we're going to stack them, right? And, no, it won't be a problem. People will be happy. I'm like,
Nobody's going to be happy trying to get 2 million free XP to get both of these ships this year. And if that's the last one that they put out this year, fine. But 6 months down the road, some people still aren't going to be even having the Alaska, and or one or the other. Which one are they going to choose? Now for me, and I know for you too as well, you're going to be like, which one should I go with, the Alaska or the Azuma? Fuck. Now what do you do? I mean, like, if you already got one, get the other one. If you don't have any of them, I'd say go with the Alaska first, but that's just my own personal opinion. Of course, I've only played 2 games in the Azuma, so.
Yeah, honestly, out of the two of them, I mean, I think they're neither one are a good option to blow $1 million free XP on. I know that's not a popular opinion with some people. I don't care on it. I don't. Well, I haven't tried the Azuma for the final iteration. they just weren't making a lot of the changes I thought were needed, so I never went back and retested that one.
Right.
I focused on all the other ships we had coming out.
God, there's so many.
Because we had enough people that were, full mass for the Azuma. I was like, you're going to get plenty of feedback from these guys that are going to nitpick this thing into the ground. With that, though, I don't think it's worth it. I don't see why I would pay that much for a premium ship that gives me 0 enhancers when before I paid $250,000 less and I got some really epic enhancers for the ship. It made it worth me putting it into that as opposed to skipping pain points and grind.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. A lot of people have sat there and they said, when the Alaska has come out that it was a mess. It's not worth $1 million, and I'm like, well, you guys got to understand when you're trying to compare the Alaska. When you're trying to compare the Alaska to the Missouri, you have to look at that was the first one that they ever did. That was the first free XP boat that they ever did, and they found that it was not enough free XP for that damn boat. I would have gladly paid $2 million plus for that thing. Now I don't know about you, but I still think that that's probably the best premium ship that they've ever put out. The Missouri, just I mean, you could argue I don't particularly care for NA or the U.S. Battleships, and that's fine. I mean, you don't have to like it, but you can't deny that Trump wagon credits, dude.
Oh no, I'm 100% with you. But I mean, when you think about it, though, they then released the Musashi with the big Captain XP buff for generating Captain XP on that one. So they learned from the Missouri what it was going to look like. And then you got the Kronstadt, which until the Stalingrad came out was just an animal of a boat. It took people forever to figure out how to counter that thing. Because it was like a giant iron bathtub. It just pinged things right off the side. So they set the bar pretty high. And the Kronstadt wasn't even as much as the other ones, and it had no enhancers, and it was a cruiser. So then when they turned and said, we're going to jack up the price, give you no enhancer, and still keep it as a cruiser, not a battleship, I'll be honest, if I hadn't gotten them free, I would have never spent the free XP on them.
I would have eventually gotten them anyway, because just what else is there for me to do? I mean, I've got everything now, so I might as well have some kind of goal while I'm playing. I mean, that's pretty much...
If you've got everything, it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Which one would I take over, Alaska or the Azuma? It's a personal preference. I mean, they're two totally different boats. The Azuma is a Japanese long-range HE spammer that just monsters everybody down. And everybody here in the chat now, number one, Senpai, thank you very much for the host, or wanting Khreegor to eat a bean.
Well, I mean, if they're not going to specify, okay, give me a second.
He's going to eat a bean, and he's going to actually go over there and choose one of himself here. So there you go. Which one was it?
There we go. Oh, I reached in the 10-pound box of peach jelly beans that one of my viewers sent me as a joke, saying, hey, #found the peach. No joke. I got a 10-pound box of jelly beans that Axel Zero sent me. So they just said eat a bean. They never specified what. So I grabbed a jelly bean next to me and ate it. I like that one, Senpai.
There you go. Well, at least they got their beans eaten. So yeah, all right. So let's break down the Azuma here. $149.99. For the boat, you get the commander flags, 1,350 flags of different flavors. You get a unique flag to put on your boat, 25 times 3 experience missions. Or you could buy it for $79.34. You get a port slot to 3 times 3 experience for 25 games. I mean, if somebody wants to whale this, I know Timmy G, last time he was on the podcast was right after the Alaska released, and he said he whaled the entire Alaska. And it's actually not a bad boat. So if somebody wants to whale this, by all means, go for it and whale
it. Yeah, I mean, I will never slam somebody for wallet warring it. If you've got the money to spend on it, and it's something you want to add to the collection, and you're working on other things, or you're just like, I don't feel like wasting my free XP, there's too many new lines coming up, go for it. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. Rock on. Congratulations for being able to have that disposable income. Throw some our way. Throw some of Venom. He'll play any boat you want.
Absolutely.
You don't even have to.
Even Omaha.
You don't even have to put in the effort to load into the game.
Not only
He'll
that.
do it for you.
Not only that, but we played the Nines now in our last 24-hour stream, celebrating our 5-year anniversary and 1 year of being a partner. We played the Nines now for 2 hours straight. Nothing
not
but
that bad. It's not
No,
like you played
I can't stand that boat, man. I don't like it at all. But I mean, I'll play it.
Really?
You know, yeah. Well, I mean, it was $75.
I mean, it could have been 2 hours of Emerald.
I'd be okay with that. I mean,
Or,
I actually like the Emerald.
maybe the Lima.
It's rough, but we did 3 hours of the Omaha Marblehead Murmansk. It was a terrible 3 hours, but it was all awful, man. It was all awful. So, guys, hanging out here with my man Khreegor. You guys can hit him up over on his Twitch, twitch.tv/Khreegor. And if you can hit him up on his Twitter, @_Khreegor. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything that we're going to discuss today, please go ahead and @ServantofMyK here in the chat, twitch.tv/ServantofMyK. Or you guys over on the YouTube can hit me up in the comment section below, and we'll get it out, get that as soon as we possibly can. So, any news out there that you want to talk about for this week, man?
Oh man, there's so much stuff rolling out.
There's so much stuff going out here. Well, let's just go down the list here, and then you can pick and choose what you want to talk about.
Yeah.
8.2 dropped yesterday, which is April the 1st.
Yep.
Which everybody's like, oh, it's just a big old joke. Space battles are back, which I'm excited about. I enjoyed last year's. What else? What else has happened, man? I mean, just so much.
I loved their April Fool's joke. What did you think about their April Fool's joke this year?
I honestly,
Tinder for warships. Where you get to swipe your captain.
Was that what it was? Tinder for war swipe? No, I thought it was swipe your matchmaking.
Yeah, where you can look at it like, oh, I don't have that guy on my team, so you can swipe to build your own team. Swipe to match with your teammates.
That's
some of that. I saw a ton of comments saying, "Please God, let this be real."
Some of that has merit, but I would simply enjoy a vote for the next map. Do you remember how you would play Call of Duty or something like that? You could vote on the next map that you'd want to see. I would love to see that. Oh, these are your 3 choices.
That would be amazing.
You can stay on the same map. You can go to this map or that map. Those are your 3 choices. And anytime that fucking Tears of the Desert would come up, nope, other one. I don't care what it is.
I think it would be amazing.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great idea. When it matches everybody, you pull up to 3. You could have, Tears of the Desert open battle, Isles of Ice, Epicenter, and then, Warriors Pass standard loadout or something like that. It'll give you a great idea of what maps are the favorite to help with future design.
What maps
which
hates.
Game types people have the most fun with. It'll give you a ton of feedback on it. I mean, granted, I don't think Epicenter will ever get picked. Unless, the options are 2 Epicenters or Tears of the Cruiser.
Epicenter on Trident's fine. It all depends on what map they put it on. Like Tears of the Desert's terrible. I mean, I honestly would like to see Epicenter on Neighbors, because I hate Neighbors. I think Neighbors is probably the worst map that I've ever played at Tier 7, and I would like to see Epicenter on that map. That would be a fun map to play Epicenter on.
You know what I want to see, and I pitched it for this year, and Earl just laughed at me, told me I'm an evil, evil man. I told him they need to roll out the new map game mode combo is going to be 2 Brothers Epicenter.
Dude, I have
center of the cap is YOLO down the middle.
You and me, my friend, have been talking about this. I want to see that. I also want to see it on Shatter. Do you remember Shatter, the one with the 9 inlets at B? Yep. I want to see it on that as well. Or Epicenter on freaking Ocean. Go. Let's make it happen.
Willison in chat has our back on that one. Epicenter 2 Brothers.
Yep, 2 Brothers Epicenter would be amazing. I think we've been saying that for a long time here on the channel. So I'm right with you, man. I'm right with you. So the space battles, there's camos out there for everybody. 8,000 for all the tier 10 camos. 8,000 doubloons, that is, and you have a chance to earn some of these if I remember right. Buy these boxes.
I believe so. If you guys love the Des Moines, I'm gonna tell you now, pick it up. Pick up the space camo. It is the most broken camo in the game, hands down.
I kind of like the Blue Aster, which is the Z52. I really like that one. I like most of them. The only one that I'm not too fond of is the one for the Moscow. I'm not fond of that boat at all. But the side much like meh, whatever. I kind of overpass that one. But they all look really, really solid. Also, there's camos for the Henry and the U.S. from 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The Des Moines has a second. It's called Bionic camo for 6,000, 5,000, 4,000. I think 2,000 is the tier 6. So,
nice.
So Pensacola's got it. All the cruisers for the French ones, and I believe all the heavy side of the Americans got it. So, from 6 and above.
Yeah.
Which actually doesn't look too bad.
I like the Moskva for one reason. It is a complete throwback to PlanetSide 1. It looks like the tank layouts for one of the armies in PlanetSide
Really?
that I played the ever-living shit out of as a teenager. So as soon as I saw it, I went, oh, I feel nostalgic. Radar X must have had a say in that design because he worked on PlanetSide 1.
Really? That I did not know. Did not
Yep,
know he worked
he
on
used to be
PlanetSide.
part of Daybreak Games, the guys that own
Wow.
EverQuest and the PlanetSide and quite a few others. Yeah, wargaming was not his first rodeo in the gaming industry. The more you know about our boss in the CC world.
There you go, man. That's actually pretty cool. I had something to talk to him about now. Like we went down to the Battleship Texas, and I'm like, "Hey, man, how's it going?" He was like, "Hey, dude, how's it going?" And that's pretty much all the interaction that we had. And I guess I had to go into his world or something. But that's pretty cool.
PlanetSide, just he is a huge Division nerd. Division 2, him and Cammy are hooked on right now. There you go. More content.
Also, if you guys are interested, you guys remember sometime later, toward the later part of last year, they did a 3 versus 3 tournament. You remember that? Where they it was a tier 7, tier 8.
Yeah,
and
Shipstorm.
The Shipstorm. It's coming back. You guys can start signing up. Signs up started March the 30th through April the 18th. The tournament is April the 20th through the 21st. Winners announced on the 23rd. All prizes are being paid on the 30th. There's 128 teams per server, tier 7 and 8, 2 stages. There's April 20th is the 8-round stage, and then the internationals April the 21st, and then a top 8 from each server compete in a 4-group round robin and stuff. Anyway, so if you guys remember, they had that one game where that Gneisenau was a bot dodging every goddamn torpedo, and it was just sitting still, back and forth. That was it. That's all it was doing. If you guys remember that was pretty funny to watch. But top prizes. First place is 15,000 coal.
And it's 3v3.
Yeah. 3v3. That's it. 90% of the maps are.
We got how many people in chat? How many teams can we build? Let's start putting some people together.
Yeah,
make some magic happen.
You guys want to get in that? Yeah,
right, buddy.
I'll link the information down below here in the chat here in just a second. But first place, 15,000 coal, 3,000 doubloons, and a tier 8 premium of choice for each of the 3 members. Second place is 12,500 coal, 1,500 doubloons, and tier 7 premium of choice. Third place is 10,000, 1,000, and then tier 6. And then that's all I'm going to go. If you guys want to see any more of the prizes, man, here you go. Here is what you guys are going to be able to get your hands on right there. World of Warships link in the chat, and I will link it down in the comment section below for all you beautiful people over on the YouTubes as well. Do you remember all this stuff, man? I remember it. I thought it was pretty interesting concept. I wouldn't be. The
3v3 part.
I'll be honest with you, man. I wouldn't be averted to casting some of this, man. Because that would be a fun cast. Because it
is a ton of fun.
Maximum of 15 minutes of the game. I think
you're lucky if you get 10 minutes.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'm lucky if I get 2 minutes, and trust me, my wife understands that comment there. Anyway, it'd be nice to see. Do I want to participate in it? No, I don't want to participate in it. Khreegor, you want to participate in this?
If I did it, it would be purely for the memes. I'd grab a couple CCs and let's just grab the most glass tier 7s and let's just have fun with it. But it would not be in any serious capacity because I get way too aggro when I do competitive.
Yeah.
That's why I enjoy the casting side of it, because my competitive streak comes out and I get dirty. I get angry.
I'm in the same ilk, man. I cannot. I refuse to do it. Like clan battles is even a stretch for me if I ever do clan battles. I'm too. For the guys out there that were here at the beginning of the stream and the beginning of my warships rise to averageness or whatever you want to call it. I don't want to alienate those dudes, man, because I'm an asshole when I lose, man. I really am a jerk, dude. Really am a jerk.
I've been around for a few moments.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Khreegor,
you're a reformed jerk, though. Yeah. You've gotten better.
Shipstorm team. Let me, you guys, if y'all want to right now for the Shipstorms, it's 3 versus 3. You guys put in what you guys' teams would be in the section below here in the and the YouTube. And if you guys are here in the chat, just throw some out there, and I'll copy pasta, and I'll let you know toward the end of the show tonight, man. So I think that'd be pretty awesome. So, all right, moving on into the next piece of news. Space Battles is up. You guys have some options to play. I believe you have to get 5 wins in a couple of these boats to unlock the next set of boats. And I don't know, Hindenburg and Shimakaze are new this year. What do you think of those?
I'm excited for the Hindenburg. I'm excited for the Shimakaze. I'm about halfway through the grind of finally getting her. I went Harugumo first, so it'll be fun to get to test her in an area where if I screw up, who cares?
Yeah,
because it's a funny game mode. But no, I like it. It's a great place to grind Elite Captain XP. I encourage anybody when you do it, you're getting a 19-point Captain. These things are all tagged as premium, so you get more out of it. Flag the crap out of those boats. I pulled a few million Elite Captain XP the last time it was around, and I wasn't even grinding it hardcore.
Yeah.
So you can easily pull a few 19-point captains from starting 3, if you do it just right.
I know there's a lot of interesting ones where you sit there and you look at them and you're like, man, this thing looks amazing, and then you realize that it's a GK, and you're like, never mind. You're like, never mind. I don't want to play it. But GK looks pretty good. That's like the one that I really don't want, that I'll probably end up pulling out of these boxes. I don't play it very often. Or I don't play it at all, really. But I've got most of them from last year. The one I'm interested in getting this year is the Hekiru. I want the hack camo because it's the only one that you can get. But I would like to have it because the camos, my friends, on the Halloween camos for the Shokaku and the Lexington are amazing. And those planes come out looking amazing. I don't know what they look like on the hack, but I'm interested in getting it. But I got to unlock the hack before I can actually purchase it, so hopefully I can pull one.
That means you got to grind that tier 8.
Good luck, buddy. Terrible. I mean, I'm at about 180,000 on it right now, anyway, because we've been doing our 10,000 a day for the past couple of weeks, trying to play it and learn it and figure out how to get better at it. And that's which will lead us into the next little bit, man. Carriers. I know we talk about carriers all the damn time, but you said something on your Shoot the Ships last night that I wanted you to repeat here. And if you understand what I'm talking about, the one about the reality. Hit them with the reality.
Oh, yeah, the realism. The one that triggers the crap out of people.
Yeah, I can hear you fine, but our camera connection is terrible. I'm going to have to find another program to do the camera capture in the future. But either way, you look fine, but it's not that. It's the it pauses a lot. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's all Discord. So we're gonna work on something next time.
It's actually on my end. The stutter you're seeing?
Yeah.
That's on my end.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's refusing to patch without redoing the entire launcher, so I just realized it was trying to re-download the entire game again, not using the version I already have it. All of a sudden, this patch broke my game, and it's not recognizing the game. So it was just, I caught it. As soon as you're saying, I'm like, is that grabbing the entire 40-some megs again? Nope. Pause.
Oh, okay. All right, boys. So here you go. Hit them with a little bit of reality, and I'm gonna put this into perspective for everybody.
Okay, so this was the one I said last night. I've said it a few times, and it triggers the living shit out of Destroyer players. Well, I said 2 things that triggered them. One, deal with the fact you're the only one that can be alpha striked by carriers now. Because in the previous iteration, cruisers could be alpha struck in the first 2 minutes of a game, gone. Yamatas could be alpha struck in the first 2 minutes of the game, gone. Now it's only destroyers. I feel your pain, but you know what? It's been there. The other one, I'm a cruiser main. Biggest thing that rubs me raw, guys, is for hearing destroyers scream and cry about radar seeing them through islands. So here's my trade-off to every DD main out there who hates radar seeing them through islands. We will stop being able to see you through islands with radar, but you have to stop whining that carriers dropping a 250-pound bomb through your very lightly armored deck will remove you instantly. Because if you want realism, that's the way it worked. If those bombs connected, you're gone. Period. Like, that's like, a major engine or a part of your munitions going off inside your ship. You can't have one and not the other. If you scream realism because of radar, then here comes AP rounds penning your hull and causing you to flood out because that's realism. Here comes the bombs removing you from the map because that's realism.
If I recall, Krieger, that they used to have it to where AP would cause overpins would cause flooding.
They did that in early alpha and realized because the amount of overpens that battleships were causing, almost every salvo would lead to a flood. And they went, oh, that's a little bit much.
That's fine. What's the difference between every salvo leading to a fire? Nothing. But anyway, I digress.
True.
So perspective this for you guys. It's the same thing, man. Everybody that complained and moaned about, I bought the Julio Caesar at tier 5. It's overpowered and broken, but people bitched and moaned and they stopped doing the change. I don't care anymore. You want broken ships in this game. I don't want to hear any motherfucker out there bitching and moaning Stalingrad's overpowered or the Kronstadt's overpowered, the Zuma's too good, the Missouri's too good. Fuck you. Fuck your wallet, because you guys don't give two shits about balancing this damn game. And then just for that, there you go. The same concept, man. If you guys don't give a shit about the radar going through the islands, y'all are complaining about that. Fucking, it's time to start changing, man. Somebody was telling me the other day that the EU server is still balling up like death balls over on the EU server. Now, I can't confirm this because I don't play on the EU server very often, but I'm still seeing it here, Krieger. I'm still seeing the ball up.
Oh, yeah. And I made the crack last night, and it made a few people feel bad for a loop because I know it just made him cringe and die on the inside.
Yeah.
I encouraged everybody until the bait balls stop. If you got a shima, load your 20-kilometer sea mines. And you fling that wave of crap at that bait ball, and you sit back and wait for your reload, and you do it again and again, and eventually they're going to realize, I have to stop bunching up because planes don't see those things coming in anymore, and I'm a giant kick me sign. Yeah. And they're going to start to spread back out again. I mean, it's a meta shift. If anybody watches esports, when a major meta shift happens, for the first season afterwards, nobody knows what the hell's going on. Yeah. You're seeing weird builds. You're seeing weird strategies. It'll shake itself back out. But when you see stupid, punish it.
Yeah. Our main topic tonight is going to be teamwork and how to go about teamwork in this new era of CV play, and maybe to give you guys some a little bit of outside of the box thinking averagely instead of thinking I don't want to change. And that's what a lot of people sit there and they don't want to change anymore. And I know I was bad about it, Krieger, complaining and moaning about the battleship AP versus destroyers, which I think is still kind of dumb, but fine, fair enough. They changed it, so what happens? We have to adapt to it. Has it changed how I played? No, not at all. I still sling that AP at that guy because I know I can hit him 3 or 4 times and I get $4 or $5 grand, whatever, instead of the double damage that it used to do, and we would kill him. But before we get into any of the teamwork breakdown, because that's a long topic. Let's do our ship spotlight here. I asked Krieger, since this is his return trip here, second time on the podcast, we're not going to do the get to know Krieger anymore because we've already done the get to know Krieger part. So I asked him to pick a boat that he really enjoys or that he thinks that maybe some people should play a little bit more. And you chose the what?
The Zao.
The Zao. This is a boat that I have never, quote unquote, never played before. Fantastic boat. It's a tier 10 IJN cruiser, long range HE spammer, very stealthy. It's got 12-kilometer torpedoes, big nasty fire chance on it. Break it down for us, man. See what you want.
So here's the reason I'm saying the Zao. Once everybody learned the IFHE build on the Henri and its ability to counter ships, everybody just got really excited for a reload booster. People seem to forget, before that came along, the biggest counter to a pushing battleship, a Hindenburg, the Stalingrad, any of the other ones, the crazy alpha damage on a Zao, even before you get your legendary module. Those shells are touched by RNGesus himself, and he'll usually reach down and just pack them into a tight wad for you on practically every shot. If you can learn, because they're not lofty, they're not flat like Russian. If you can learn how to properly lead those shots, every tractable Henri out there you see will learn real quick. They do not want you on the enemy team because that alpha damage does not care about Henri and French-based armor. It's punching through. With IFHE, it doesn't care about Yamato deck armor. It's punching through. The Yamato gets too close, you drop to AP, you will cheek it as if you were a Montana and make them cry. people, for some reason, have just completely forgot about the Zao. As soon as the Henri and the Wooster, the Wooster came out and the Henri got its love and a rework. And that is not a boat you can sleep on. You get a good Zao player across from you, he is going to rip your team apart.
The Henry came out, and I was pretty excited about it. Then I found out that you should roll, one tends to roll IFHE on those things. And I'm like, oh, I see the potential for this boat. And I was playing it, and I was playing it and playing it. And I played it probably more than most people before the rework. And then after the rework, I've honestly gone back and played the Zao. Now it's rich, isn't that weird, in that opposite, dude? I've gone back and I played the Zao now more than I am playing the Henry, even though it's got a buff. That says a lot, and that says a lot about I don't want to play the thing that everybody thinks it's OP, number one, because I'm a hipster or whatever. Number two, that the Zao's got something that a lot of people didn't. A lot of people don't realize. It is maneuverable, and I take the what's the super mod, the legendary mod on it.
Yep.
And it only puts my range down to 17 and change, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People worry about these legendary mods being negative impact on this boat, but it doesn't affect it at all. You still have a spotter plane. You can still throw a spotter plane out there, get 19-kilometer range, still set those stupid fires, and it is just one of the most amazing tier 10. It's stealthy, it's maneuverable, it's dodgeable. I mean, jeez. It's basically, they're not hitting you, you're screwing up and getting hit. That's basically what's happening.
Well, and most people are building the ships nowadays for, the Daka, the DPM. You do that to Des Moines, you're at a 15, just hair over 15-kilometer range. You now have to get in that Zao's range, who's going to lead you along by your nose, burning you out of your range the whole time.
Out, man.
Hindenburg, same problem. When you start to build that reload on it, you're going to kite that thing out. The only thing that can get that range on you is Henri. However, that Henri, unless he's burning his speed boost, is not getting away from that Zao. As that Zao goes, that's cool. I've got enough alpha damage. What's your reload booster? Not as long as my spotter plane. Here comes the range, and I can tell your direction 10 times easier. Here comes the pain. So it's a great counter for a lot of ships, and I don't think people remember that one.
Well, that's one thing when you're talking Zao versus Henry match up there. The Henry guns are slow. I mean, they fire quick, but my God, they take forever to get to where they're going. And especially if you're at max range in these things, that Zal's going to miss every one of those things. You're not a bad player for shooting at him. He's just a good player for dodging them. That's the way I see it when I'm shooting at a Zal. It's like I'm shooting where I'm supposed to be shooting, but this guy's outplaying me. And so good on that Zal for missing my shot, especially with battleships, man. I had a guy. We were talking about this before the podcast or before you even showed up today. Had a guy just flat out refused to shoot at two Zaos that were broadside from 15 kilometers from him. He just flat refused to shoot them. So he was slinging at things 18 kilometers past that guy. And I was like, wow, dude, please shoot these guys because I'm in a little destroyer. I need these guys dead. And he refused to do it, man. And he ended up with 700 experience at the end of the game because he didn't do anything.
Yep. And they're not easy to Citadel. You really have to hit the sweet spot on a Zao. They're so long, everybody assumes the Citadel's running that full length. There's a lot of empty hull space on that thing that can be real deceptive with just a little bit of an angle on that thing, and you're going to bounce or you're going to just kind of laugh it off. There are some. Stalingrads will still bop you. You got to be careful around them. They're pen dirty.
I have noticed that the days that I play the Zao and the days that my Dodge is on, I do very well at not getting touched. But as soon as I get touched, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a cruiser. It doesn't matter if it's a battleship. I'm getting hit, and I'm going to take a lot of damage. This thing does not tank very well unless you have to bow in on the guy, and then even then you can kind of get overmatched a little bit. 16-inch guns straight on the bow. You'd be hard pressed to pound them. I know Missouri's. I have a hard time pinning Ibukis from the bow, and I can't imagine doing it to a Zal. So,
yep. Well, and honestly, a Zal you shouldn't typically be that close unless it's late game. Yeah. Things are low on health, and you're trying to hunt out that last remaining destroyer. Those couple low health cruisers. You're looking to just come around the corner, drop all the barrels of AP in them, and just sail away laughing.
And as you're sailing by, drop that fucking, hey, how do you do?
Yep.
Run away torps, bro. There's one thing that a lot of people don't realize about the Japanese cruisers. A lot of people do realize them, but that those have rear-facing torps from Tier 6 and above. except for the Otago, which is a whole nother story. But people don't go broadside to get your torps off, man. If you're face to face with somebody in the Zow and you're charging down in on them, just wait till you get to. Don't go open up for them, because then you're just gonna die. You'll be like, I can do this. Those torpedo angles are awful. So just sail right on by them and then drop them on the way by. Just be like, peace, deuces, bro. Here's about 17 million damage from 18 torps that go 12 kilometers. So there you go. That's my little tip for the Zow. Any tips for the
Zow? Don't be afraid to shoot guns. Those things have really good penetration. I see so many people trying to aim low waterline nose on bow and other cruisers. Hell no. Put those shots right into the guns. Get them to burn their repair to get their turrets back online. Aim. Best thing I can tell you, even with the Moskva, aim like you're trying to shave the top of turret 1. Because some of your shells are going to drop a little. Some are going to come up a little. And a lot of times on the Moskva, the Des Moines, the Hindi, even the Lollygrad, you will break their turrets, or you'll knock them out of commission. People will panic in a close range fight, and they'll hit that repair real quick to get them back online. Well, that's great. Your reload time is longer than the repair. Repair wears off. Your next salvo busts them again. Now they're gone for the full 20, 30, or permanently for the fight. I bust guns so many times on ships, and I've just rolled off afterwards. I'm like, you can't do anything, Des Moines. You literally have no turrets left. You're a floating hull. Bye, and I'll leave them.
Just guns, boys.
Oh, it's so dirty too. I feel bad because I'm like, I just made you useless to your team, and I'm not even going to have enough consideration to kill you, but you were dumb. So welcome to a learning lesson.
I gotta love that, man. I'll tell you what, guys, bottom line, the Zow is fantastic, guys. Go check it out, man. If you guys have not done it yet, it is on the heavy cruiser side. There's only one line of the Japanese, but start working at Japanese. And you know, there's one thing to be said about this entire line. It all has the same accuracy as the Zow. Now, they did a buff to it to where Tier 5 and above all have the same accuracy as a Tier 10. It's going to set a lot of fires. Your AP is good, so go ahead. If somebody's broadside, switch over, man. Switch over. Furry tacos, man. I tell you how many times I've citadeled, you know, Kirovs and other Tier 5 cruisers off the boat, even some Tier 6s, with a furry taco, and then moving on forward. Don't sleep on your AP. Use that HE, kite them out, dodge, duck, dick, dive, and dodge, whatever you have to do, and don't go broadside for your torps, man, because you're just going to be in trouble.
Yeah, do not ever. There's no reason you should ever turn this out broadside for the torps. It's just silly.
Yep. All right, so there you go. Any other things that you want to talk to about the Zow? Let us know what. Well, let me get your answer before I move on.
No, I think we covered the Zow really well. I wish people would start playing her a lot more. She's such a good, and the basiness of her guns, it's like baby Yamato. Like, you just feel that Japanese oomph when you fire them.
You definitely feel good about those guns when you're firing them off, and you're just like, yeah, this is what I've been missing in my life. Actual guns that feel like you were rewarded for what you're actually hitting on. It's not like battleship guns where it's hit or miss. I mean, you can hit the guy in the same spot 4 times and get 8 different results.
Yep.
So there you go. So big beefy guns. It's got a lot of hit points. It's got a heal. It's got a spotter plane. You can put a hydro on it if you want it, or AA. Yep. AA on it's not bad either. AA is not bad on it either, man. So don't sleep on that. You could build it a couple of different directions if you guys are interested in building it. What would you suggest building it? Priority target, adrenaline rush, maybe expert marksman.
Yeah, I do for the first pass, priority target, adrenaline rush, superintendent, because you're really going to want that extra heal on there. The extra spotter plane is huge if you go late game with it.
Concealment.
And concealment for the last one for sure. The second pass, I kind of go back and forth. If you are in clan battles, I recommend grabbing the radio location.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually you're playing a lot tighter in and being able to figure out where that destroyer is about to flank around. It's pretty big. For randoms, IFHE. Getting most of the pen through a Yamato deck, which has the strongest deck armor.
You know what I
find pretty tasty.
You know what I find interesting is that I run RPF all the time, and I run 4 level 1 skills.
Really?
Yep, I run the 4 level 1 skills. I run priority target, I run the swap over
Expert
reloader.
loader.
Yeah, expert loader. I run the preventative maintenance so I can keep some of my keep some of my AA modules and stuff. And then I also run the incoming fire alert because I'm out there over 12 kilometers away. I want to know that those shells are going to take 6 seconds to get to me. I'm starting to turn. I'm hitting my brakes. I'm dodging entire game. This is what I'm doing for the entire game. So don't sleep on that one either, guys.
Yeah, that's definitely the DD main in you. I'm just going to call that one out. That is very much the DD main in you.
Honestly, it reminds me of my kebab build. And it just don't get hit. Throttle jockeying, turning in, slowing down, speeding up, just being a pure butthead, pure jerk. It's
Yeah,
a jerk
I always
build.
assume if they're aiming at me in my Zao or my Alri, because I'm in the back, usually it's more than one, because they know exactly what I'm about to start doing. And I just immediately go throttle jockey mode. As soon as I see a target lock for more than 4 seconds, shells are coming, immediate slam on the brakes, or if I was reversing, immediate forward and a turn. Like, I don't wait. I don't care. If no shells are in, I take myself slightly off target for a round. That's fine, because 8 out of 10 times I just dodged shells, which kept me in the game that much longer to get a few more salvos out to help the team.
There you go. All right, there you go, guys. The Zao, fantastic. I absolutely adore this thing. If I ever played it, and maybe we'll get our first game in it sometime later on tonight, but I don't know. Who knows? Khreegor loves the Zao as well because that is his ship spotlight. So there you go. Well, let me know what you guys think of the Zao in the comment section below. What do you like it? You don't like it? Whatever, anything, and we'll talk about those a little bit later on. So, Rings of Saturn binary and binary star modes. Talking about space battles started yesterday at 4:20 a.m. Gotta love that.
Yeah,
Gotta love that. 4:20 a.m. I think they did that on purpose, and I thought that was funny. You could play binary star and Rings of Saturn, which is a looks like a what the hell map is that? I know that's an old map, but binary the Ring of Saturn is just a straight up copy of Tears of the Desert, and then they've added some up where A would be. They've added some extra islands, but the map looks amazing. You got binary star; those are stage 1. Stage 2 starts on 8th of April at 4:20 a.m. And goes through the 15th, and where you can play Space Assault, which is you are the defending and attacking ships. I didn't play any of this during the PTS, so I'm not sure too much about it. And then Stage 3 starts on the 15th of April, which is the Torpedo Beats, which I'm pretty stoked about. I kind of want to get in there and dodge some Peats because those are like the greatest. Those are the funnest things that you could do when they just barely miss you.
Yep. So, speaking of Torpedo Beats, slightly off topic, just because they were polling, they threw the poll up for where would you like to see it anchors away. I didn't even know I had a local ship near me in Seattle. Looked it up.
I don't know what you're talking about. It sounds like some NDA stuff, man.
No, it was on the forums for people to vote where they would like to see
the
it.
voting? Okay.
I don't know. Voting.
I didn't vote on any of it, so I have no idea what you're talking about. Explain it to us.
Oh, I did. So they did a vote, guys. I believe the voting's already closed now. I think they only kept it up for a couple days to do a new Anchors Away like we did for Iowa, where a bunch of us were down there hanging out,
Anchors Away to
us. Fans kind of a deal. I learned about the Turner Joy, a destroyer, perfect for you, sir. Here over in Seattle, near me, so about 4 hours away, that is actually recorded as pulling off torpedo beats during Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
It saw the wake of a torpedo and started zigzagging through torpedoes under fire while firing out over 220 rounds at North Vietnamese torpedo boats and getting aircraft backup, which I want to point out, shredded their version of destroyers with rockets and dive bombs. But it is recorded the Joy Turner in Seattle actually pulled off Euro beats during Vietnam. So you're just talking about torpedo beats, and it immediately made me think of that story I read earlier because I finally had time to look it up.
There's a lot of really interesting stories out there. Ships around the world, and we went to the Texas, and of course they told us, the standard. We had to flood half of this side to get our guns to go up, so it'd be long enough that it would fire and help the people on D-Day and all this other stuff. And I'm like, man, I don't really hear too much. Yeah, I don't really hear too much about Vietnam era stuff, so that's always cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always cool to hear a story from a different era that's not World War II, and that's similarly effective. Fuck, man, I hope they come back to Texas, man. I'd like to do one of those.
That'd be amazing if they do it and they bring in CCs again. I'd love to get to come down to Texas just to see you and so many other people down there in Texas that couldn't make the Anaheim one. Get some beers and share some cheers.
Well, I mean, I wasn't a community contributor at that point in time, but it was right after TwitchCon, so there's no way I was going to make Anchor's Way to Anaheim. I really wish I could have gone though. That'd have been a blast. I know the event that we went to for the USS Texas recently was an amazing thing to get down there and talk to actual players, and everybody was just there to have a good time and talk about ships and complain about CV rework. I mean, that's basically what happened.
Oh, when Sub Octavian walked up on stage during Anchor's Way and said, "We're going to chat about the rework," I just turned around and looked at it, and I looked back at Nizenow and Radar X and said, "We have security for him to get out of here alive, right?" They just laughed and went, we'll see how it goes. I'm like, I'm going to go to the bar. This isn't going to end well. But the crowd was super receptive. I got to say that took, Russian bias balls of steel to do it. Yeah. But it showed he wanted the feedback. The dude's amazing.
Well, I mean, the Kami and Radar X did a fantastic job at the Texas event for feedback. There was a lot of people. There was a lot of pretty heated people, and it was a very small area that we were doing it in. And I was just like, I was standing behind Kami, and I was just like, man, I might have to push these people out of the way at how heated they were getting about it. And you know what? And that just tells me Khreegor is that the player base is passionate about their game and what they and that's good to an extent, and then it's bad to Reddit. I mean, like, Reddit is the cesspool, man. I mean, like,
I don't go there.
I
pretend it doesn't exist.
And then, not Reddit on themselves, but just the pure unadulterated just garbage that comes and spews out of the people's mouths. And I had to get into it with some of my own clan members the other day, saying that they just need to delete them. I'm like, look, that's not solving the problem. This is not solving the problem. CVs are here to stay, so you either have to get used to them or shut up, because there's nothing that you can do to get these things to change. I mean, they're going to be good, and I think they're fine. I think they're a little strong, just a little strong versus destroyers currently, spotting wise, and so on and so on. But overall, I think they're a lot better off than they used to be.
Yeah, I mean, are they perfect yet? Hell no.
No,
but no ship is.
They also said that there was another 3 or 4 patches left to go. So 8.3, 8.4, 8.5. So there's still another 5 months worth of changes that possibly could happen before they're all set. And even then, they're really never really set anyway. So I mean, there's always a work in progress. It's always a work in progress on this game. They're always adjusting things up and down. And there you go. So
the way I described it to my channel, because people are flipping out about how many patches, I'm like, it's like working on an engine. When you tweak a setting on one side of the engine on the carburetor, it's going to make a different part of the engine run a little different. So when you adjust your timing, you got to adjust your fuel intake. You got to keep tweaking it a little bit at a time until everything comes together and it runs like a well-oiled machine. They're in the tuning process right now. They got to get that tune-up in. And it's not just a walk in, push one button, and boom, everything's fixed. It's not how it works in real life. That sure as hell's not how it works when you're coding a game that has thousands and thousands of people trying to, play it and find that little angle that you didn't think about because you had 25 guys, not 25,000 guys trying to figure it out.
Right. Well, so there you go. What do you guys think of CVs? And this is a very loaded question, and I apologize for throwing this question out there, but we got to ask.
Put on a helmet real quick.
And the only reason why I'm asking is because it's still a hot topic. It's still relevant. These CVs are changing, good and bad. They're going up. They're moving down. There's a lot of things. Drops are getting worked on. They supposedly had gotten worked on here. So here's the homework, guys. I don't know if there's homework out there, but here's something that I gotta ask. You sit there and you guys, everybody knows about the bomber, the U.S. HE dive bomber bug. Where you would wait till the very last second, and then you would drop it, and then it would, like, perfect aim every time. You could hit 5 or 6 bombs every drop.
Yep, 0.5-second drop.
0.5-second drop. Right. They said that they fixed it. Now they've come back and asked for footage of anybody out there that has can replicate this on 8.0 or whatever this patch is, 8.2. So if you guys have any of that footage, send it to me, send it to Wargaming, whatever you want to do, however you got to do it. Let me know. Clip it out of my stream when I'm doing it. Just kind of watch the things. Send it into Wargaming. Let them know that, hey, yes, it's fixed, or no, it's not fixed. Because if it's not fixed, then they need to fix it, and that's what they're wanting to do. So they're asking for the community to come back and show us what's going on, so they can fix it. So there's that. What do you think of that, man? Do you think they fixed it yet, or have you played since?
I haven't played because this is the patch, and like I said, apparently the Game Center decided it didn't like the version at all I had, so it's trying to do a fresh install, so I got to fight with that one.
Fun.
I just appreciate, instead of just taking the biggest nerf bat they could and beating it into the ground and saying, okay, if it hits a lot, it's not going to do that much damage now. They tweaked it, and they're going back to the masses and saying, okay, we think we got it, but there's so many of you that can do this so well. Let us know if we really got it. I appreciate the crap out of it. I don't think I've really dealt with any other game company that's done that kind of a thing of, we think we got it. If you can prove we didn't, let us know so we can take it back to the drawing board and figure out where we missed the mark.
Right. They also said today, which is something I find a little bit more imperative, that they are soft capping 2 CVs at tier 10.
Yes.
I
thought it was soft cap 1 CV, so
yeah,
it's going to try and force single
I was looking
CV.
for that. I was looking for his post, but I can't find it anywhere. I'm looking on these things, but there was some. I don't remember if I linked it to you or not.
Josh tweeted it out, the exact caption from it. Let me see if I can find it here.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know what you find. But anyway, so I think some of the biggest problems is the double CV games at tier 8 and tier 10. Tier 8's rough. It's kind of rough. Tier 10, it's you're struggling really, really bad. And I would like to see them.
Got it.
Okay, go ahead.
So following your feedback on encountering 2 CVs per team on Battle Tier 10, we've worked on a possible solution. As a result, we decided to introduce a 3-minute soft cap for 1 CV per team at Tier 10, complemented by a hard cap of 2 CV. So unless 2 CVs somehow are sitting in queue for at least 3 minutes each, it, in theory, is not supposed to push a double CV. So it's supposed to no longer be possible to even get a triple CV match. But I've seen it once. And it was horrendous.
I only saw triple CVs at tier 4. And then I saw that multiple times at a lot. Like probably 10 times or so. Right after the first patch, I saw it 10 times. But haven't played tier 4 in a while, so I don't know how that's affected down there.
But this only affects tier 10 right now. Right. So hopefully, if it works out, we'll start to see it rolled out to the other ones.
I've never seen it, but I am seeing some people in chat saying they've seen it a few times at tier 10. I've never seen it, so I have seen a lot of double midways, and oh my god, dude, good luck getting anything done in that game. That's an island humping adventure there. Oh, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah.
But that's positive. That's a positive change. I mean, that's something that's addressing one of the biggest issues that I have was the multiple CV games at high tiers to make it almost unbearable, especially for those tier 8 boats that have AA. That's garbage. Even the vaunted kid struggles with midway planes. Even the North Carolina struggles with midway planes. I mean, it's just not quite good enough for tier 10. Now, no, there's those games out there, and Khreegor's had those games out there where the odd game where the guy just kind of not really smart with his planes and he shoots down 50 or 60 planes. Fine, it happens, but the average guy isn't going to be able to do that consistently.
Yeah, unless the enemy CV just really is going with I'm going to throw everything at the wall and see if it sticks, or I can prove that I can. Dive bomber drop a full AA Minotaur because I think I can do it and just feeds him. You shouldn't be seeing that. And if you do, that means the CV player was a moron. Went into the game not caring.
Yeah. How many? This kind of begs the question: how many times have you seen nothing but carriage at the end of the game anymore?
Not too often.
Really, I see a lot of.
I haven't seen too many.
I see a lot of just carriers. It's like two carriers left, one on each team, and then like one or two other boats on each team. Is what I'm talking about within the last minute and a half, or whatever's left. I see a lot of that.
See, I think I saw it more before. The reason I don't think I'm seeing it as much now is, or let me rephrase this: when the relaunch first dropped, all the time.
Right.
Now, as it's gone more into the bait ball strategy, other than Tier 10, where the actual CVs can deal with the DDs, because you can't before that. Your rockets are useless, your bombs fly everywhere. Other than Tier 10, I don't see it too often, because with that bait ball, that means everybody's on one side, and as soon as the destroyer who has half a clue sees that, he goes, cool, I'm going to go kill the CV, because he's worth the most points for our team and a crap ton of experience for me.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you got two DDs that aren't in the cap, but there they are chasing that aircraft carrier across the map, because he's not a midway. He can't defend himself that well.
Huh. Well, there you go. I mean, I guess it's just different experiences. I've seen it a lot, and I've been involved in that a lot. Khreegor hasn't. So there you go. One new ship come out for testing. The USS Georgia, which is a Tier 9 with 3x2s, so it's 2-gun chassis, 457s. Big-ass guns at Tier 9.
18 inches.
Yeah. Also, they are currently testing the lowered or raised Citadel Conqueror, and I believe the Monarch as well. But I have not played any of these yet. I have watched some people play, and, man, this thing is pretty accurate, even with the 2 guns in it. The Georgia is. We'll just talk about that one because everybody knows the Conqueror is going to play exactly the same, and so is the Monarch. But you're just going to get punished for going broadside now. That's pretty much all that boils down to. But the Georgia hit points 74,100, plating of 32 millimeters, main battery 3x2, 457, range of 21 kilometers, HE shell damage 6450. Pretty high alpha chance, and a 43% fire chance. AP shells is 15,750, so 15,750 main AP shell damage. Reload time 30 seconds, 180-degree turn time 45 seconds, so relatively slow. Maximum dispersion 270 meters.
Yeah.
That's dumb. HE velocity 800, AP velocity 732, so you got some slow, loopy guns. Slow loopy guns at 732. Sigma says 2.0 on there, but I think it's 1.8. Sigma, it says Sigma at 2.0, 270 meters, bro. That's insane. Secondary armament, 10x2. So you got 127 millimeters, 6 kilometer range. Shell damage, that doesn't matter. Defense doesn't matter. Damage control party, repair party, fighter, or a spotting aircraft. So you get those two choices. AA on this thing's not very good from what I've seen.
No, I haven't heard any good words on the AA for that one. Her guns apparently, they're like the Leon Troll. If they're on point that match, you are just murdering people. But if RNGesus decides it's not blessing you that round, you're slinging buckshot with 6 rounds going in all directions. But I'll say it like I have every other time when people are like, what is wrong with that ship? It is the first round of testing for the CCs. Yeah. There's only so many super testers, and they can't take them into random battles.
Why do we care, Khreegor? They don't give a shit about broken boats.
This is true.
They don't care about broken boats, so if it's broken, it's the way it is. It's final. It's done.
I do, because everybody goes, why did you let this in the game? And I'm like, well, first off, I'm a CC. I don't collect a paycheck.
That's right.
So I don't get that final say.
The super testers don't collect no paycheck.
I just get shiny stuff to hand you guys.
Yeah.
And look cool doing it.
Yeah.
I'm working on the second part.
I'm interested in this. I'm interested to get my hands on it. Like I said, I haven't played for the last 2 days, so this is due in my port, and I haven't even set it up yet or looked at it or anything. So I'm pretty excited to get my hands on this thing. I was watching Senpai today, Virtual Senpai, if you guys don't remember him. He's been on the cast before. Anyway, I was watching him my God, he was just knocking the hell out of people for like no reason. You know, he was law pinning people, which is like what the Yamato did or does, and then the Republic does that too, and the Conqueror does that too with its big 457s, but nobody uses it because of that short fuse AP. Still good, guys. Y'all should check that 457s out. Anyway,
Well, what's the size on this one? 470 what?
457s.
The 457s. I thought this one had the biggest guns now.
Yeah,
with the
457s. Same things. Same as 17.9 and change 457 millimeter. I'll do the math.
Okay.
17.9921 inches on that. Same as the rest of them, man.
Nice. Yeah, the two people I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this boat that'll really tell me what it can do is Static, who's been on here a couple times for you, and Cammy Samurai. And William the Dank, if you can ever actually catch him on.
Yeah, dude,
the Dankmeister.
I haven't seen Kami streaming. Of course, he's been busy with the working for Wargaming now. That and I'd like to get my hands on it. And Dort, I'd like to see Dort play this thing too because he's gonna love this thing. If it's accurate now, 270 millimeter or 270 meter, it's really good. It's really good. Somebody's telling me here, Hamerald is telling me here, the upgrades, the dispersion goes to 200 meters.
Yeah, and apparently Volgar got it up to 240 kilometer range, 24 kilometer range.
You don't need that much range in this boat. I mean, I have seen that it's not very tanky. It doesn't have the tank as an Iowa does. Of course, the Iowa's not all that tanky bow on anyway. It can, if you're off bow, and from what I've seen of the Iowa, and from what I played of the Iowa, you can off bow tank this thing, so like you're hitting in that auto bounce angle.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can. I think this has a place for it, and just forget about your back turret, I guess, and just fling those 4 guns at the front, and just fucking monster these people down with those big ass guns. I'm really excited about this boat, man. I always love battleships, man. Learning how to play them and putting them through their paces and stuff. So I'm pretty stoked for this one. You?
Yeah, definitely. I found myself playing battleships a lot more lately than what I used to.
Yeah,
I used to just almost go strictly cruisers. Yeah, they're a fun palate cleanser. We just want to sit back, throw some big shells, take your time.
Mm-hmm. It's not a very fast pace unless you're playing the French, and then the flanking happens. But still, it's flanked at a controlled speed.
Yep. Yeah, they're definitely my relaxed boat. They're that sit on the porch swing with some iced tea, chill boats. I go to battleships, Yamato, Montana, even the Repub, because I still kite with my Repub as if I'm in just a giant on reach, just a little bit slower pace.
Yeah, it's no big deal. I find battleships relaxing, except for the fires. I mean, the fires are getting pretty ridiculous nowadays with how much you're on fire versus how much you can actually retaliate versus that fire. It's very frustrating, but that's a whole another entire podcast at fire versus dispersion on battleships.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm a big fan of Make the World Burn, so I'm not the person.
Yeah.
We're going to be on opposite sides of that argument.
Oh man, I can't stand it, man. I mean, anyway, I'm not going to jump into that.
Let's not go down that road.
I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole this time because my God, that'll derail the stream. Anyway, so there you go, guys. Check out information on that. We'll be playing it here. I'm sure Khreegor will be playing it over on his channel at twitch.tv/Khreegor. We'll also, you guys can also check out some of the other community contributors that will be playing it as well. Virtual Senpai. I don't know if Static. I don't know if the Super Testers can play it on their streams. I'm not sure how they work.
Once we get access and the okay to show it, then Super Testers can play it on stream.
All right, so Static Warmonger and all the other guys too.
They cannot give feedback other than statistical data on it.
Right.
Super Testers are locked on that one. So I can tell you, this boat's a sack of shit or it's the most amazing thing. Data can give you statistical numbers on it, but cannot tell you opinion until release, I think.
So
they're weird the way they have to work as a super tester because they see stuff that we never even see.
Yeah.
There's boats that hit their lineup that will never make it past them.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested now. This is another battleship at Tier 9. for the Americans, or not even, we don't even have to break it down to Americans. We just another battleship at Tier 9. Is this battleship going to take the place of the Missouri? Is it going to take the place of the Musashi? Is this going to take the place? Is it going to be a replacement for any of these other boats? John Bart, Alsace, Freddie, the Lion at Tier 9, the Iowa, the Missouri. What else is there? Musashi, Izumo. Is this going to take place? Is this going to?
Yeah.
Where does this fit in the realm of Tier 9 battleships, which are all very good? People can argue the Izumo's not that great. It is. It's fine. The Freddie the Groper is not that great. It's fine. I don't have any problems playing with those boats. But is it going to take any place of these? Now remember, you only got 6 guns now.
Yeah, you know what I would like to see, and I think it was Zoop threw this one out there as a comment. I would like to see the Georgia and the Mass be the start of a second USBB line for brawlers. So I have fewer guns, but give me some secondaries. So I'm the US counter to the German brawler.
Yeah, but do we think that this is a brawler, though? I mean...
It would. I haven't gotten into it. It would need the secondaries for sure. Well, I don't know how the secondaries are.
From what I've seen on the secondaries, they're only 6K. They're not long.
So you'd have to bump it, like the Mass.
Well, from what I understand, this is a mid-range brawler. This is a mid-range fighter. It's not a brawler. I mean, you could push if you have to push, but the guns are set up like the Gneisenau. That's the guns that I'm talking about. Set up like the Gneisenau guns, and those are arguably the worst guns in the game for accuracy. Now, some people are going to argue I'd do fine and fuck whatever. Who cares? I'm just saying those are notoriously inaccurate and notoriously sporadic and unreliable. I think that's the best. I think that's the best words that I can put forward. So 6 guns that are 18 inches. When you do hit, you're going to hit like a truck. And how many hits are you going to actually get out of these 6 guns is going to be the key. It's the key factor to make it accurate. Now, with the Sigma at 2.0 or 1.8 or whatever it is, and then the dispersion that you can get down to 200 meters, it's going to be some tight ass. That's going to be some tight ass dispersion.
Yep. What's the reload on those?
30 seconds.
Oh Jesus!
So it's not much of a brawler, and
get some adrenaline rush on it though, and it'll start trading faster than the other ones. Or on par with.
It'll be right up there. I mean, I'm excited to see it. You got to do it. I mean, like, I don't know how your testing phase goes. I mean, my testing phase goes like this. Let's just set it up for the regular boat, survivability build, and let's just go balls deep for a couple of games, and let's see what we can get away with. And then after that, when we're coming back, we start messing around with the build, and then we continue to go balls deep and just YOLO charge on these things, and then we change our build back, and then we start the process over again. We change our build back to survivability, and then we go mid range, and we sit at mid range, and we never push.
Let's think about this. We've been comparing it to the Yamatos, Montanas, Musashi.
Well, I'm comparing it to Tier 9, yeah.
What happens when those big guns turn on that Tier 7? Even that Tier 8. Not a lot of Tier 8s are going to handle those guns very well.
I mean, it's going to slaughter the Colorado. The Colorado's, I guess we have to figure out what the pen value is on this thing. 457s can pen just about anything. Somebody do the math on 457 pen value for this. 180-degree turn time on these.
And your Nagatos that like to sit at the back like snipers and just slow roll broadside. If they get paired across from this thing, if, like they were talking, Volgar got a 24K range on this thing, 200 meter spread, you get a tight pack, you're blowing that thing out of the water at the back range.
Yeah.
So she's going to compete at 9. She's going to probably hold her own at 10.
Oh, she'll be fine if she's
Heaven help the 7 or 8 that rolls in front of her when she goes, my guns are facing your way. 6 turrets or not. This thing could be pretty dirty. I'm looking forward to trying her. That just suddenly clicked. I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah.
What about when she's the top tier? The CC bias that somehow everybody thinks we get in matchmaking because we're not every single game, up tiered.
Yeah. Maximum speed on this thing is 33 knots, so it's relatively quick. Turning circle of 890 meters. Rudder shift time is 16.5. Surface detectability is 16.9. Air detectability 14.1. Detectability after shooting your guns in smoke 18. You're not shooting this thing in smoke.
You're not shooting any battleship in
Mobile
smoke.
turret
Those days are long
platform.
gone.
I mean, it's 33 knots. It's relatively fast compared to. I mean, it's Iowa speeds, if I remember right. Iowa's pretty goddamn quick boat too.
I think it might be one faster than the Iowa. I thought Iowa capped at 31 or 32.
Either way, it's pretty fast.
I could be wrong.
33 knots, decent. I mean, she turns fine. So fast flanking Musashi guns. I mean, Jesus Christ, come on, man. I'm liking this. I'm liking the fact that they've gone with more of a flanking thing instead of more of a tank thing. Fine, we still need our tanks out there. We're getting out with the Russian battleships. Now let's get some flanks so we can outmaneuver these tanks. That's kind of what this boat reminds me of, and that's what the French line is. The French line is let's outmaneuver these guys sitting still. Let's outmaneuver these slow guys, and let's get on the sides and let's just hammer the shit out of their sides.
Yep. And the gun and pen is going to allow them to actually make it through the space armor of the Alsace, the Bienenfart, and all the French line, which some of the other ones like the Iowa, the Missouri, Izumo, anything that's not Musashi Yamato struggle with in that 9-10 range.
Right. Now, the USS Georgia is I'm assuming this is a paper ship because I never heard about this thing. This is an Iowa. This looks like an Iowa class ship, and I know when I Wikipedia'd this earlier before the podcast tonight, said it was like a South Carolina class. I mean, or South Dakota class. I might be at South Dakota, but I don't know. It looks like an Iowa to me. Somebody let me know what this thing is, because I have no idea. Is this a real ship? Is this just a paper one that they drew up but they never did, or what?
Let's see here. Looks like there's been 2 ships named it. It's a Virginia class.
Virginia.
BB-15 was its official designation.
BB-15, that's old.
It ran speed. Well, the original USS Georgia, BB-15, ran speed trials in 1906.
Yeah, it's the same.
So I don't think this is going to be the same one since it's a Virginia class, so that was a lot smaller. But its gun loadout, no, not even the same gun loadout. Now it's SSGN 729. The USS Georgia is an Ohio class submarine.
Yeah. So this have nothing. This is all paper. This has all paper. So according from what I'm getting, Georgia is an Iowa design study. So it's early before the Iowa class actually was produced. They drew this plans up, I guess. Either that or it's testing. I have no idea. They just pulled it out of their web. They was like, hey, man, here's our Matryoshka doll. Instead of having a little doll at the very beginning, in the middle of it, here we go. Yo, yep. I just had an idea for a new event, Khreegor.
Which one?
Matryoshka doll boxes.
Okay. How would it work?
So, all right. So whatever you have to do, experience-wise, or you want to base it on kills or torpedoes or anything like that, you have 7 or 8 layers of these dolls that you pop open, and at the bottom of that is whatever boat they want to give away. And they do it in tiers, just like this other stuff.
That could work.
Yep. And it's the same thing as doing a daily mission or whatever. Just every day, pop. You have that. Yay! Look, you still got one more to go.
That could be interesting.
There you go, Matryoshka dolls. You heard it here first. I don't want to come back 6 months later when they actually implement this thing and be like, oh, Flambass did this. Check out what Flambass did. Fuck that. Sir Venom said it first.
Oh, there we go. Somebody found it. It is US BB-47 was the Georgia that was lost during World War II. Let's look up that one. Well, BB-47 is the Washington. It was a Colorado class. Unless it was a rename.
Don't start me lying on it, man. Don't start me lying on it. All right, so there we go. We kind of got off a little bit of track there, but I'm interested in the USS Georgia. If you guys want to continue to research this for us, we'll let you know at the end of the podcast if anybody actually finds any solid information here. So we'll move on. We'll move on into our main topic tonight, which is going to be teamwork. Now. Let me disclaimer this. This is obviously Khreegor's and mine's opinion here, but with everything that has come out here with the new CVs, and we saw it in the past with the Invisifire or the Smoke Nerf or the Smoke Change that everybody's happened, Battleship versus AP, or Battleship AP versus Destroyers, things have to change. You can't just sit there and just ball up, and because it's not effective. It's not effective, especially depending on what you're going to do with that ball. Now, if you want to ball up and then roll around the map, Death Ball Squad, fine. Marble Madness, let's go. But if you want to ball up and then sit there behind islands and do absolutely nothing and then complain about your team not doing shit, well, what are you doing, my friends? Let's work with this team. We started this conversation last week with Virtual Senpai. I believe it was Virtual. I don't remember. It's been a week since I had somebody. But,
yeah, Senpai was last week. I got to catch the second half of it. Thanks to work.
Emerald was last week, and then we had a week before Senpai. But anyway, me and Virtual Senpai were talking a couple of weeks ago, and we said this is the time where you go ahead and team up with people. This is the time where me and Khreegor get into a group, we pull people in, and then we go down and we throw a destroyer and a cruiser, and that AA cruiser. We want that AA cruiser. We want that AA cruiser overlapping some of that cap. So, man up. That guy's going to smoke in this cruiser. Then let's action on this cap. CV's in the game. Well, he's going to bring his planes over. Now, you're not going to go very far into this cap with your DD because you want your AA cruiser to overlap some of that cap. So play within that overlap so then he can protect you when the CV actually comes in with his planes. This is the teamwork that I'm talking about. That's what a lot of people don't realize, that you can play this game still. And there's still very effective strategies out there that nobody's using. And all they were doing is blaming on the master, blah, blah, blah. And until somebody out there that's popular or some clan battle team comes out there and just absolutely dominates with this strategy, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change because people aren't wanting. So be a part of the solution here. Be a part of the solution, guys. Think about outside of the box. Think about how average you can be, and don't ball up with everybody. You know, if you've got to run a 3-man murder squad, then run a 3-man murder squad. Thoughts?
100% agree. Quickest way to get a CC camo code out of me, if you're not in the channel when you happen to be there when I'm giving it away, let me see teamwork from you in the game. I do it all the time. If I see somebody working and they're communicating and they're not in a division, just, a cruiser a minnow saying, Monty, I'm going to push up on the island here. I'll try and get you a bubble if you can stay within this range. I mean, I'll see what I can do, but I'm going to need your help. And they work together tons of times. I've messaged both of them after game and said, hey, can you come DM me on Twitch, matching name? You deserve a reward for actually not being assholes and working as a team. That's my exact wording. Like, I want them to make real clear they're about to get goodies from a CC for not being assholes in the game and working as a team, and they have no clue who each other is. Clan tags don't match. They're not in a division together. They're trying to, work with what they have for the betterment of the team. I'm like, you deserve a reward. You are the behavior I want to encourage in my matches.
All right, so the problem that I have with this whole statement, like I said, all this other shit, and I agree with what I said, and I stand by what I said. The only downside to what I said is that how is it going to be rewarded? You're not rewarded for teamwork in this game at all whatsoever. If you're rewarded for teamwork, you're rewarded like this. You got to win. That's it. A little bit of experience here, a little bit of experience there, because it's impossible to reward intentions. You might have accidentally hit your smoke, but that guy rolled into the smoke and he got a bunch of damage sitting in that smoke. Should you be rewarded for that if it was an accident? I mean, I think I'm okay giving experience for tertiary actions.
So here's why I think you should.
Right.
Because if I accidentally hit smoke and you roll in and you crank out a bunch of damage and I get experience, I'm going to go, wait a second. So if I smoke that Wooster and he tears apart the enemy team, I get something out of it. Yeah. I want to repeat this.
No, absolutely.
Helping him gets me something. And unfortunately, people have the mentality, and it's a competitive thing they're going to. What have you done for me lately? Why should I help you?
Mm-hmm.
What have you done for me?
Yeah.
So I think they should reward that because it's going to lead to the better behavior.
Right. So moving deeper into this category, you can also throw tanking in there. I don't think tanking and spotting is rewarded enough. I think that guy with 5 million tanked potential damage should be rewarded immensely more than that guy that's sitting out in the middle of nowhere, but he's got 200,000 damage sniping. I think that guy tanking was direct cause of that guy getting that 200,000 damage.
Yep. I think potential damage should account for, I'd almost say 75%, but at the same time, I'd be worried you get that idiot YOLOing. But I think it definitely needs a reward attached to it so that people realize sitting in the back is not where you need to be.
No.
Sitting about mid-range, drawing some fire, pulling the shots onto you in your Yamato, your Montana, your Colorado, not the Monarch. God, don't get hit in that thing. You're going to die. But to encourage the battleships to use that bigger health pool so that your smaller ships can get in and take things out, and they don't get rewarded for it. It's just like spotting. Why should I go spot in a destroyer? I get nothing out of it.
Well, I'm a notorious DD player. Like when it comes to ranked seasons or competitive or whatever, unless somebody's making a call, hey, you need to smoke this guy up. Fuck you. I'm keeping my shit to myself, because 9 times out of 10, hey, you want me to smoke you up back here behind this island, and then you want me to go out there and cap. I need that smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I need that smoke, and then I don't have the smoke, and I end up taking way too much damage, and you've done what? Nothing, because you're still sitting in the smoke. So I'm protecting you. So I'm notorious. I found that majority of the time when I would drop my smoke, I would go out there, and even with my own clan, hey, can you smoke me up? I was like, dude, you're next to an island, bro. Just back up a little bit. You're fine. I need this. And as soon as he's like, oh, he starts running his mouth at me. Fine. You want me to smoke you up? Fine. I go in there a little bit. I touch the cap. Boom, radar. There I go. I'm 10 grand down because I don't have my smoke. Or I'm not dodging. I can't do anything. Or he doesn't even have radar on the other side. And there's somebody that outspots me in the DD, and there it goes, 10 grand. Boom. And all because you wanted smoke. So I'm very selfish when I play DD, when I play a smoke, because I'm going to end up having more impact on the game in my mind than you will.
Yeah, I like to ask, if I'm going to ask a destroyer for smoke, usually I ask for 2 things. One, I'd say, Venom, can I get smoke over here? I'm going to try and light him up, but can you flank wide and get me vision on him? I'm going to see if I can clear him out for you. That's usually the statement I will make to my destroyer. Can you smoke me up here and then flank wide to get me the vision? I'm going to try and clear them out for you. Fine. So the destroyer, like in your case, goes, I'm not going into that cap naked. I don't want you to go in the cap. Right. I want you to get anywhere near the cap. Yeah. I want you to throw your torps. This dude's broadside, so he's got 2 choices. Eat your torps and you get the damage. Turn his broadside to me. I'm going to get a citadels. In the end, that radar, that spotting ship, nowhere near you. Go grab the cap, buddy. That's a big chunk of experience for you. I'm going to go make the rest of the world burn. I'll see you on the other side of the other side of the map when we're done.
And that's all expressed through chat. Somebody's either your Discord chat or your stream chat or whatever, or somebody who's in that game chat. Not too many people will actually pay attention to that game chat, number one. Number two, when they do go out there, that's like, hey, fuckhead, will you do this? Do this. And I'm like, man, I ain't doing shit for you. You called me a fuckhead. So yeah. people approach it terrible, and I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty as the next guy, saying, can you shoot this guy? Please shoot this guy. Shoot this guy, you moron. Hey, idiot, fucking shoot this guy right here. He's right here. He's literally 2 seconds in front of you, but you're not shooting this guy. You're shooting the guy. Come on, what the fuck? And you see the breakdown. And it's on players, it's on everybody, not just me, not just you, Khreegor, not just community contributors or streamers or anybody. It's on everybody to approach that chat, except for Timmy. Timmy's all right. Timmy G's okay doing whatever he wants to. But it's on everybody to approach these. Hey man, maybe instead of that, maybe you think about doing this. This will be better for the game. Fuck your damage. I mean, like, I think that wargaming for a long time has rewarded the solo selfish play. You see it in I've got 500,000 damage. How selfish that is. I've got 200,000 damage, but we lost. Well, what could you have done different? You know, we've all had those 200,000 damage games and lost. We all have those 300,000 damage games and lost. We also have a lot of them that that we won. 100,000, 50,000, 70,000. 30,000 damage cracking because you're stealing kills or whatever. You needed a kill right then. You got it. You just happened to be shooting at the same guy. I mean, we all have these games. How much of those games have been playing for the team and how much have been playing for yourself?
Yeah, most you're playing for yourself. Unfortunately.
Well,
we're all
and
guilty of it.
And this is the reason why that a lot of people like to come into the chat spouting off, well, I have a 70% win rate in solos. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. I don't care about your solo win record. I don't care at all because you're playing selfishly. You're playing for yourself. You're not playing for the team. This is why I feel that 3-man parties have a little bit more weight than that solo guy stats. How are you playing with the team?
Yeah. Well, and their 70% win rate, I usually like to ask most of them, great, what's your solo win rate when you don't have two people on voice comms supporting you?
I think
not so good? You don't do those that often? Exactly, because you won't play with the people around you. You'll only play with your friends and not share your toys with everybody else.
And now that's definite. See, we're on total opposites end of the spectrum here because I hate playing this game by myself.
Oh, yeah, I prefer playing in dibs.
I can't do it. I mean, I've got 13,000 games. I think I maybe have 3,000, if that, in solos. And I just don't enjoy the game playing alone. I would
but
much
most
rather.
Of the people,
right?
If you ask them, who come in and spout, I've got the 70% win rate. I'm unicorn. I don't give a fuck nor whale.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you ask them, so you're hard carrying a lot of games, and I carry every match I'm in. Cool. So you're saying your other two buddies are dead weight? Like, I love to kick them in the ego. That's why I say that's cool. You do all these amazing things. You're that good. What's your solo win record? If you're that good and you're carrying the teams, that you're just completely disregarding your two buddies that are in that division with you, that's helping bring the win, that is a quarter of your team, the three of you together. Since they don't matter, what is your solo win rate? Right. Brag to me about that one and come back.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't care what your div one is. You're a quarter of the team. I would hope with voice comms and teamwork, you would have a good win record. Now, if you can get that communication rolling and get the big wins in solo and somehow manage to motivate your team, you're that armchair general, you're that Winston Churchill that people actually want to listen to not ignore, now we're going to talk. I want to know what your secret is so I can repeat it.
Absolutely. My man Revan always says it's usually the first really bad players that turn into Admiral Nimitz after they're dead.
Yeah. And my favorite is, well, you're dead. You can't talk.
Yeah, I hate that. Now there's a time and a place where, okay, well, that just doesn't make any sense what you're talking about. And I'll call people out on that after the fact or whatever.
Yeah.
But if I'm in the game, I usually try to keep my mouth shut. Hey, or shoot this. You need to go cap A, because a lot of people don't pay attention to the minimap at all, right? Paying attention to the minimap is my number one biggest tip for everybody out there. Pay attention to the minimap, turn the names on the minimap, markers on last known positions, and so on and so on. That's my biggest tip for people. But a lot of people don't pay attention to the game, right? They pay attention to directly what's in front of them, but they're not paying attention to what's coming from B. If they're at C, that's coming from B, what the score is, how much time we have left. A lot of people don't pay attention to that. So I'll pop up there, hey, we need a cap. You need a cap now, or we're going to lose. And a lot of people don't pay attention to that. And so that's about the only thing that I'll throw up there. Hey, man, you guys need to push, that kind of shit. It's time to push. Let's go. That's about the only thing that I'll throw out there anymore. Because I'm ready. I'm fucking trying to win the game, Like, let's go do this. We need to push this now. And nine times out of 10, people just sit there and they're content on sitting there, just spamming, and not winning games. It's very frustrating for somebody like me who wants to win, who plays this game to win, to sit there and see a team not push, not play the caps,
Yeah. Well, and it's because damage rewards experience. So if they think they're about to lose, they're going to give up. They're going to go into self-preservation mode, essentially. Try and keep themselves alive to dish out as much damage as they can. Get that extra 100. Because on a loss, you're not getting the big multiplier. So they want that extra 100, that extra 200 experience that they're going to get. That now suddenly justifies them being better than everybody else on their team. Because they got 1,200 on a loss, and you only got 997 on a loss. But you were second place behind them with some kills. You just didn't sit there and farm a ton of damage. You actually tried to get in there and win.
I mean, everybody, like I said, everybody's had those games where you get a Kraken with 10,000, 20,000 damage. Everybody's had those really low Kraken games. And also everybody's had those games where you kill 3 people in the first minute and a half, but you die. And I've had those games before where just for shits and grins here, let's just throw up an example, Khreegor. Solomon Islands, right? Low tier map, A, B, C, B's right in the middle of the volcano. 2 ways in, one side, 1 way in on the other side, right? We go into B, I come out, I drop my set of torch, people run into him, I get the double strike, and then I gun the third guy down. We get what World of Warships Blitz would call a lightning strike. We get 3 kills within like a really short amount of time. And then I hit one of the return torpedoes trying to dodge one set. I ended up rolling into another set. Nothing I could do. And you roll in there, you get 3 kills and you die. And then they'd be like, "Hey man, you guys need to cap. Shut the fuck up, you're dead. You're already dead." And I'm like, "Whoa, bro, you need to calm down because I'm telling you, we need to cap. We need these caps and we're going to lose if you do not cap. You're dead, bro. You can't say shit. If you were better, then you would have died." Dying doesn't necessarily mean that you're a bad player.
Yeah.
Dying early doesn't necessarily mean that you're a bad player. What did you do while you were alive? How effective were you? You don't see what I saw. You didn't play. You're not playing my boat. You're playing your boat. All right. But I'm seeing other things after I'm dead. I'm seeing other things that you might not be seeing. Hey, we need to cap. We need to kill now. You can't be running away. We need to be pushing. These are the things that I will also throw out there in the chat. And man, dude, you tell people that they're bad or tell people that they're maybe hey, you need to go do this. Boy, their butt puckers up so hard, dude.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So,
yeah.
With it, no, I'm 100% agree, but that's one of the reasons I like that timer mod I have in there from doing the COTS stuff, is because I'll type in there, they're going to win in 3 minutes based off caps. We've got 6 minutes. We need to break one out. They can't flip. I found they can't flip me shit when I'm literally laying out the numbers for them, because most of them are like, well, I can't tell him to shut up. He's wrong. Like, it's literally giving him the time. A lot of times they'll get quiet. I've seen a small, not huge, but small improvement in the number of people that will react when you're giving them the stats. The downside is I shouldn't have to give you hard figure countdown timer numbers for you to realize, they have more points. They have 2 caps, we have 1.
Yeah.
Let me take my shoes off and use my toes to do some quick math here.
That just goes back to what I was saying. People don't pay attention to the game. And how do you pay attention to the game affects your teamwork. And I know myself and Khreegor, and which you guys can hit Khreegor up over on twitch.tv/Khreegor. Hit him up on his Twitter at @the_Khreegor. Right here at twitch.tv/ServenomIK. I am Servenom. Salute, guys. Teamwork. So how do we incentivize teamwork? Is it up to Wargaming to incentivize teamwork, or is it up to us to actually be a fucking team and work on teamwork together? How many games have you guys had out there, Khreegor, where your division kills 8 people and you still fucking lose all the time? It happens all the time, and we're notorious for it.
Yeah, those are sodium-inducing matches. I've had a few guys rage, like, I gotta quit, I can't play anymore. I'm like, well, I'm still streaming another hour. Good luck, buddy, have fun. And I'm like, all right, guys, division spot's open. Some of my guys get like rage-inducing. Like some of the calmest people I know, they're like, nope, we cannot deal with this anymore. Done.
So what's the fix? How do we boost teamwork via chat? How do we boost it? I don't know if you can boost it. I don't know.
You boost it via chat because nobody.
What kind of chat?
Likes
like a
to
voice
hear
chat?
What they're doing wrong.
No, absolutely. I don't like to hear it when I'm wrong. Nobody likes to be pointed out to where they're a bad like I said, a bad player, they throw up baby rage face and just like their butt puckers, and it's all on how you approach them, I suppose. But how do you incentivize it? I mean, do you incentivize teamwork? Number one, number two, if you're going to incentivize teamwork, do you have to take into the factor this guy is I just want to fucking have a good time. I don't care about winning. I just want to play. I just want to have fun. And those people drive me nuts because winning is fun to me. And when you're purposely doing things to not play the game and not play to win, then you're hurting my fun. That's irritating.
I think it should be incentivized. I think a small amount should be based off of what we were talking about earlier, potential damage received. So that means you were taking the shots, you were playing with skill, you were absorbing pressure. I think some of it should be based off of spotting for those destroyers who go, okay, fine. I'll drop smoke for you in the cap. They get their nuts shot off. They're at 10% health, trying to survive and provide vision the rest of the match because they can't do anything else. They don't get enough reward and recognition, I think. I think karma needs to be worth something.
You think karma needs to be worth something?
Well, I do, because I think if you give too much experience from the other options, you run into what we have right now because of all the premium camos and signals. You get people that fly through the lines because they get carried by teams.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, I've got a Montana or a Yu Yang or a Z52 or a Des Moines next to me who has no freaking clue how to play that ship.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea how he managed to get there other than he got to the 9 and just went, I want a 10. Gip the Iowa. So all his experiences is an 8 against the 10, not two ships that are evenly matched. Will always face an even match or overpower situation, and they're in a bad spot. So I think you'd have to figure out a way to bring karma into it.
Well, there's two issues with this. Well, one issue that I can see right away. That player that actually grinded through tier 9 into tier 10, having to play a new boat. A new boat is daunting sometimes. Going from tier 8 to tier 9 to tier 10. It's pretty daunting, and it's pretty off-putting for a lot of people, especially at tier 8, because, random reasons, matchmaking and so on. Again, how do you incentivize intentions? That goes back to the same thing. I went over here to help this guy. I went over here to do this for this guy, but he got one shot. It's not, maybe his fault. Maybe it's not. Maybe he got detonated. Maybe it's not his fault, the reason why he died. Now I'm stuck out, and I get punished for trying to help. So there's no real incentive for anybody to be a team here other than trying to get a win. And other than those 3 people that are running in a division, that's pretty much the only teamwork that you're going to get out of this. Now, every once in a while, you'll get a lot of it. Hey, guys, we're going up the middle. Stream paid for a mid-run. We're going up the middle. You guys need to push hard because we're going to be pulling back 7 or 8 people, and it's going to be wide open. Guys, go push. Okay.
Yeah. I think if they adopted a little bit of the experience model, and I pitched this idea when I first became a CC.
No.
I'm going to be honest, I don't have it finely tuned now, and I said that last time I pitched it.
Go for it.
The redheaded, if they adopted the experience model that they do for the redheaded stepchild of the wargaming family, World Warplanes.
Warplanes.
If you're a fighter and you dominate the map and all you're doing is destroying ground targets, you get shit for experience because that is not your role. That is not what your plane is designed to do. You are not playing for the team. You're not playing your role. On that same note, if you're a ground attacker and you're dogfighting, same situation. But if I'm a ground attacker and I'm going after my ground targets, I'm flipping the caps, I get a crap ton of experience. I get a good chunk. If I'm a fighter and I'm staying up there and I'm providing cover and I'm going after the bombers, I'm doing my role. As a destroyer, if I'm going to use the destroyers because they're the easiest ones to run with. If I'm a destroyer and I'm getting in there, I'm getting the caps. I'm getting the spotting out there. I'm getting that spotting damage because people are shooting at the targets I'm giving them vision on. I'm going to get more experience from that than I am just from the damage. I'm not going to get penalized for doing the damage. I'm just not going to get as much as doing the other roles. But they'd have to clearly define what is the role of this ship.
Right.
How are we going to do it? And at that point, I think you'll be able to get the teamwork, because if you've got the destroyers doing their role, doing what gets them what they need, their role is in a support role to X, Y, and Z. And when each one does it, you get a well-orchestrated team play.
Right.
But how do you define the roles? How do you tell the Des Moines, you should be capping. You should be over here doing this when that cap is wide open, and that's going to get the team points. So it's
It's
a weird one.
catch
It's a hard balance.
You can roll it in there, but then you're gonna. It's just like the CB rework right now, dude. Anytime that you try to fix something, something else is gonna break, and that's fine.
Yes.
I mean, and it has merit. It's a decent idea, but what happens if that battleship? Hey, there's nobody here. Let's just roll on through this cap. Should he get less? Should he get less? Because of that, so there's a little bit of there's a couple of flaws in it, but that's fine. It's honestly it's the only thing that I've heard about incentivizing teamwork. Honestly, that's the only thing that I've ever heard about incentivizing it.
Yeah, well, and I don't think they should get penalized. I don't think they get penalized. So think of it if I'm going to make up random ass numbers here. If the destroyer gets 100 experience for taking a cap, a cruiser should get 50. Mm-hmm. A battleship should get 25. This cruiser should be your next option going into those caps. The battleships really should not be playing that close until late game, and at that point, they've already put out the damage. They've already done their, the potential damage they've absorbed. Their XP grinders. Now they're trying to get that last minute cap to get the win, to kick your modifiers into place.
I mean,
again, there's a lot of variables. But other than saying, here's a carrot, little buddy. Here's a cookie. Do a good job. Go do this for us. Clearly define the roles. Like, why not? Well, you made it work so well in one of your other titles. The love of God, talk to the other teams. Each game brought something really good.
Well, let's
cross shared.
All right, so let me pick this apart real quick, Khreegor.
Okay.
I'm not gonna deny anything that you say has merit because it does.
Pick it apart, man.
Yeah.
If you don't take it apart, you don't get criticism.
So here's the deal. We're taking an experience system from a failed game. Let's be fair. World of Warplanes is not the most best game ever out there. Okay,
but it didn't fail because of its experience.
No, it did not.
It failed because of its. Anyway.
So there you go. We take this with a grain of salt. Yes. Moving on into the next thing is, how could you possibly dictate what I can do with my boats, Khreegor? How in the world could you tell me what I could supposed to do with my boat? I can do whatever the fuck I want to with my boat. And if I want to take my guy out to A10 and then maybe hit one torpedo and still get some experience, then I'm going to do that. I find it hard to try to define what a boat is supposed to do for the simple reason that there's sometimes that I have to perform a role of there's no DDs in the game. And I'm a Minotaur, and I have to be the DD. Nothing outspots me. So I am now become a DD, and so I find it hard to. I feel like if I'm going to go into that cap and try to cap this thing, that I feel like it's not worth my time, especially with the battleship, and it's not worth their time to do it anyway. And and caps are worth more than kills in this current aspect of the game, which people still don't realize. That's a whole nother. That's a whole. I
both find that one humorous and painful at the same time.
I've lost so many games because people are trying to get that kill. Just cap it out, bro. But I can kill this guy. Just cap it out, bro. But I'm trying to get through this thing. I need to get killed, dude. That guy's got 100 hit points left. He's out there on the 10 line. He's not coming in. Just sit there and cap. You on that cap right there in standard battle is worth more than that 100 hit points that you're going to get out of that guy. But people, I got to get that kill. Now, if he was on 4 kills, fine, whatever. I can see somebody at 4 kills shooting for that Kraken, make or break. Fine, go get it.
The Kraken's going to get you a little bit more than the cap because it's a heroic achievement or whatever it's called. I can't think of the wording all of a sudden. I get that one. That one makes sense.
Fine,
a little bit.
People complain.
So I'm not saying penalize though.
No.
So like you said, Minotaur. Right. Go back to it. If the destroyer's going to get 100, the cruiser gets 75. Well, you're still getting something out of it.
Yeah.
You're not going to get as much as the destroyer would have.
Yeah.
But you're still getting something out of it.
Yeah, but
the destroyer isn't going to get as much for potential damage as the battleship because his whole job is try not to get shot at. Because if you do, you're going to die.
Right. Well, I mean, we've all played those games where we're very successful pushing in and capping everything in battleships, and we get rewarded justly. I find it hard to believe that in this world of everybody gets a participation medal, which I absolutely hate, by the way. I find this those particular people will stand up and throw a big old fit while I should be getting rewarded just as much as that DD is. So I don't think I think although your thing has merit, it will never work. It'll never work. I mean, it has merit, and it is a very good idea. And maybe if they offshoot this somehow where everybody gets the same thing, and then you give a little bit more. There's a baseline here, and then this guy gets just a little bit more. That guy gets a little bit more. But I know we had the arbitrary numbers here of 175 and 50, whatever. There's arbitrary numbers there. But make it closer than 25. Maybe okay, this guy gets 110, this guy gets 115. That's it. Fuck you. And then maybe you incentivize these DDs to go out there and spot a little bit more. Maybe you incentivize these battleships to move up a little bit and tank some damage. And this is all about the teamwork. What is it going to do? If I'm sitting there tanking this guy, what's he not being able to do? He's not being able to sling shells at my cruisers and one-shotting them off the board. So that's my job. So I should be rewarded justly for that. On the other hand, teamwork with your fucking AP versus HE selections. Think about this. If you guys are say for shits and grins, you guys are all playing the Conquerors. Okay, 90% of you guys are going to be slinging HE. 100 divisions out of there. 99 of those divisions that are all going to be slinging HE. The most successful one is going to be the one that slings AP as well. Reasonings. Any thoughts on that? I mean, it's just an example for Conquerors, but I mean, you could break it down to Republics or the Republiques. Those are HE slingers as well, and they're good HE slingers. But people don't sling HE enough on some, and they sling HE too much on the others.
I think people struggle with. I'm trying to think of the right wording for this one. I don't want to say situational awareness because that's not the right wording for it. I'm trying to think, how would you word this?
Fine. So, I mean, situational awareness is fine.
We'll run with situational awareness because I think everybody understands where I'm going with. Where they look at it and their thought is, I'm a conqueror. I've got a 62% fire chance. I'm just going to keep slinging fire, which is fine. I do that all the time in my conqueror. I don't sit there and think, I can do this, so I'm going to do X. What I look at is, I'm going to sit here and keep slinging HE as I'm pushing in, because they're going to think, oh, great, it's another HE spammer. They're going to now assume I'm like every other person out there that all I'm going to do is spam HE, and as soon as they give me the wrong angle, they're going to realize, shit, that was a mistake, because all of a sudden, HE spam, next salvo, they're overcommitted to that turn, AP through their side. People don't pay attention to when is a different ammo type appropriate, and because of that, they get stuck.
Not even that they get stuck or they get stung. They lose potential. There's potential damage that is lost when they don't make those swaps. And there's also detrimental things to this as well, Khreegor, that a lot of people aren't thinking about. This goes hand in hand with the rest of the teamwork. If I'm slinging HE at a broadside cruiser in whatever boat I'm slinging, I could be APing in this guy and knocking him off the board and citadeling these cruisers off of the board. And if I'm doing that, then their potential damage on the rest of my fucking team is zero. If they're gone, they can do nothing else. So I think in this world of let's stack up a whole bunch of stupid dots, which is basically what World of Warships has broken down into lately, is just dots everywhere. More dots, more dots, more dots. A lot of people have missed out on the fact that you have AP. And if you're not using AP on the broadside cruisers, then you're a detriment to your team because, okay, fine, you hit this guy for 10,000 damage and you set him on fire. He repairs it in 30 seconds. Then he goes, now he's gone behind the island. What's he going to do? He's going to go, he's going to heal up, he's going to reposition himself, and he's going to rain down death and destruction on the rest of your battleships. He's going to eat your cruisers up. If he's a radar boat, he's going to the potential radar and kill your DDs. That's teamwork, boys. You've got to really properly switch from AP to HE on these broadside cruisers with your battleships and knock them off the fucking board. That's your job. Am I wrong? We've defined the roles already here, Khreegor. We've defined the roles here. With the battleship, you're a fucking HE. You're an HE shit on them. Let's knock the shit out of them. Let's get them off the goddamn board so they don't kill my goddamn DDs. That's teamwork.
Yep. But we got to get people there.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to get people to do it. And the more that you incentivize the HE spam, the less people are going to use AP.
Yep.
Right? So here's my fix.
Because I have no purpose to use it when the other one is effective.
Here's my fix for it, Krieger. 30 seconds is the typical reload on a battleship, right? And what does it say, average? And there's some more, there's some less. Make that your fucking fire chance. 30 seconds, 30% fire chance. The lower you get, the higher it goes, just like adrenaline rush. If you're down about 10% hit points, then you got 50% fire chance. To just go out with a fucking blaze of glory. That's the way it should be. And if you're at full health, 30% max. There should never be anything over 35% fire chance coming from battleships. 65% fire chance, fuck you. Why is the reason to have that much fire chance on a goddamn boat?
62% is what my Conqueror is sitting at.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's too much. It's too much fire chance. There's already enough cruisers out there slinging HE, and you give these guys a false sense of actual doing things when they're shooting this, and then what do? They end up, okay, this is the only way that I can legit get damage. We'll get better shooting, number one. Number two, aim for the right spots. And number three, teamwork, boys. If I knock this shit out of this guy for 20, 30, 40,000 damage and he's gone off the board, he's not going to kill my rest of my team. He's not going to damage the rest of my team. And so this guy survives a little bit longer, then maybe he makes a play. And that's teamwork, boys.
Yeah.
All because lowering the fire chance on battleships.
Yep. Then you have to, so that also leads to the other crazy thing that I think is starting to get out of control, which is, what is this ship's shtick? No. So for British battleships, it is that crazy fire chance.
Oh my God!
And I get it. You need a niche. Why should I pick this line over this line? Makes perfect sense. But you have to figure out, where do we draw the line on crazy shticks for it? Because that is why we're seeing the really big fire chance from the British ones. That's why we're seeing some of the other craziness.
Yeah. Well, it all stems from the UK battleship. So before that, you saw, oh, look at this scrub lord slinging HE, and I was that guy when people were bow in on me. North Carolina was just a bow in, sit still fucking play style, and so that was the meta. The Yamato meta, the North Carolina, the Montana, every goddamn boat out there was doing the same shit. And it was, let's roll to this spot. Okay, guys, now we're taking a shot. Time to bow up. Start backing up. Slow down, back up, boys. So they put out some of these high HE fire chance ships to counter that meta, and it did a good job of countering the meta. I never slow down very much anymore. Every once in a while, unless I'm really stuck, I'm pretty much not bowing in ever. And it's off bow, off tank. Let's stay mobile. Let's do this. It did its job. But also the German battleships did their job too, and now the German battleships have gone by the wayside. And they're not as strong as they used to be. The tanky brawler secondary build, although fun, how effective is it really in the long run? Would you let's just roll back out of this guy. Now let's focus fire this guy. He's dead. Now what? Who gives a shit? Let's fucking pound him out. They're going. I mean, and they, so effectiveness. I think it's time to look at effectiveness. Let's start countering some of these fire chances. That's the biggest. Anyway, teamwork. Let's get back into teamwork here, because I'm going off the field here. Let's get back into teamwork. Now, if you are going to sling HE on your teamwork, what do you do? If I can sling it out there, bang, you hit him up. Hey, guys, I got 2 fires on this dude. Okay. He repaired it. All right. Bam. The next guy slings his HE on there, and you guys just trade HE fires and get this guy down early on. Now, later on in the game, then you start switching over. Then you have to, okay, this guy's on fire. Boom. He's turned broadside. Bang. We're on AP. One guy stays on AP. One guy stays on HE. Whatever. Swap back and forth. Whatever fits the situation. But that's something that you guys could do if you guys are talking with each other. If the enemy team, hey, this guy's on fire. This guy damage control party. Communication is 100% the most important teamwork that nobody ever does in this game. There's pings. Yeah. There's pings out there. And I keep seeing a guy in the chat that has name one ping only. And of course I'm an asshole and I ping like 8 million times. I'm going here.
Makes people ignore it. That's the other catch to it. So you're pinging. Yeah. Excellent. You're trying to communicate.
Yeah.
Like the guy saying, one ping only. Ping where you're going. If people are paying attention, they're going to pay attention. The other big thing, call DCPs. Man, I would love to see that more. I do it all the time. When I see
Yeah.
somebody burns their DCP, I ping the ship and I type in chat DCP down, light them up.
Yeah.
And you get pretty decent response from people a lot of times. They go, cool, he's got no repair. They focus fire. Because what I figured out is they don't care that I'm letting them know, to shoot at them. They're ignoring that. They don't care that I said that at all. What they care about is I just told them that guy can't stop the fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to burn. Here's a ton of free damage for you, buddy. Go farm it up. And that is what triggers them to go, ooh, shiny.
Hey, so the next
And it
thing,
works.
It goes a little bit further than that, bro. You want to really talk teamwork, man? Let's talk being in a CV teamwork. Let's talk HE spamming while you have a CV on your team, while you have a CV in your division. Let's HE spam the hell out of these things and knock out those goddamn AA modules.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Let's knock out the AA modules. Let's trigger the DCP so they can come in and get some floods on these guys. There's so many impacts you can have, and just letting your team know X just happened.
Yeah.
It makes them pay attention.
And this isn't relegated to battleships. This is everybody. This is everybody.
Yes.
Everybody slings
100%
HE.
everybody.
Everybody slings HE way too damn much in this game. I want to knock the hell out of these goddamn cruisers, because if not, they're eventually going to kill me with their fires and their fire chance. I want to do this. This is the big deal about the AP teamwork. All right, and then breaking it down into CBs. CBs have a little bit of an issue. I mean, they're not terrible versus AA. Now, if they're tier 8 versus tier 10, hell yeah, I want a fucking team that's going to sling nothing but HE to knock down the goddamn battleship AP, or so I can go in there and get some fucking damage. So I can be a part of this team as well, and I'm not relegated to one role of spotting. I hate that. That's the most boring part about the CVs is I'm bottom tier. There's not much I can do here, so let's just putter.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to make a drop and I'm going to go slaughter all my
match.
fucking planes, man. And it's frustrating as shit for a bottom tiered CV to go up into tier 10. Now, 6 to 8's not as bad. It's rough, but it's not as bad. But in 4 to 6, it's okay. But who cares? But going from 8 to 10 is probably the worst. Where your AA is your AA at tier 10 is way too strong, versus those tier 8 planes, which leads you to needing help, or leads you to a different type of carrier role of the spotting role, and then trying to maybe whittle somebody down. Okay, I got this guy on fire. All right, I'm going to bring my bombs in. I'm going to lose all my planes, but I might get a drop on this guy. And maybe I'll set him on fire, get a little bit of damage that way. I mean, there's so many things that you guys could do together as a team. These are just some examples. I'm interested in what you guys think out there, thinking outside of the box here for teamwork. And
ignore the assholes. That'd probably be the other big thing I give you. When you're trying to get teamwork going, ignore the assholes. You're going to have the asshole that says, stop pinging, shut up, I don't give a shit, I don't care about their cooldowns. That's great. He doesn't, because he's over on A10. But for the 3 guys with me over on, the G5 line, who that guy's across from him, they care. Ignore the other dude. Feed intel. Intel wins games. For any of you guys that have done clan battles, the biggest help you can give your shot caller, feed him intel. Yep. Let him know what's going on. Same thing for randoms. If you're giving out the intel, people can react to it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you, this guy's got DCP if you light him up. Up to you if you take the information and run with it. Not my problem.
I still have an issue here with my own CV game. I don't know about you, Khreegor, how much of these CVs you've actually played. Well, let me ask that question. How much of these CVs have you played since?
I had been playing the crap out of them, but I'm in the... What the hell is it? The Lexington's the 10?
Yeah, tier 8.
Or you?
Tier
8, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, Midway's 10.
Midway's 10.
I'm in the Lexington. And that up tiering is just...
It's brutal.
Frustrating. Like, it is unbelievably frustrating.
I mean, it's manageable to some extent, but when it's U3, tier 8s, and then it's just Minotaur, Demonies, whatever, you're pretty much... you're spotting only, and that's unfortunate. I also my CV gameplay. I mean, we're still in tier 8s. We haven't hit tier 10 yet, but we're doing our 10,000 a day. We're about halfway through all of them at tier 8, getting into tier 10. My biggest issue with it is that, and it's my own fault of not. I don't want to lose my planes. Number one, the fear of losing the planes, and then being useless. And then number two, the fear of not dropping. Like, I want to drop. But if I'm not dropping, then what am I doing? Right? I feel useless. There's a lot of times that I feel absolutely useless in games when a CV's in it. And regardless if it's top tier or bottom tier. When they're all balled up in a little zone, and there's really not much that I can do to getting in there without just maybe getting one drop on and slaughtering all my planes in the process. So I feel kind of useless when that happens. My problem comes when I'm seeing that, not staying with it, not staying around that stuff, and going to the other side of the board and spotting the flanks, and spotting the rest of it. Okay, guys, y'all need to push. Y'all need to do something. This is what I've started to do, and it's been very hard. There's games there that I get drops on early, and I do very well, 100,000 damage games, but we lose because for one reason or another we lose. And then there's those games
it's gonna happen, right?
It happens all the time. But where do you go? I mean, it's such a new thing still, and without the teamwork, you and your division or you and the rest of your team, it's going to be new, and nobody's ever going to get better at it, and everybody's just going to continue to be bitching and moaning about it, which we see all the time. Still, it's been a month, 2 months now. I guess it's been 2 months now.
2 months.
Since the CVs have gone in, and still the same people that have hated it in the beginning are hating it now, but they've never played it. Like, literally, Khreegor, I had a guy, have you played any of these things? No. Then how the fuck do you know if it's bad or not? If you're not playing it. All you've done is play against it. And there's so many different situations and so many different things, and until you actually get in there and play it and experience some of these things, man, the only thing you can have is teamwork to fix it.
So,
or to play against it.
I had the head of a clan, and I'm not going to call them out here because they have some pretty good players. They're nice guys. They have a few. Some of them are dickbags.
Everybody's got dickbags.
This guy who's the head of it is a complete fuck biscuit. I'm going to throw that out there.
Fuck biscuit. Whisker biscuit.
Yeah, fuck biscuit. Yeah, about as useful as sticking your dick in a biscuit.
Whisker biscuit.
Decided to park next to me when we were still testing the UKCBs in his Hindenburg and said, if he's not moving, I'm not moving. And I said, where would you like me to go? You need to get up there with the rest of the ships. I'm like, you understand? I'm a CV, but you're the British one and you guys play different. I'm like, no, we don't. We actually play the same. He goes, no, you do play different. I know. So I went, how many games do you have in this thing? That doesn't matter. Oh, it does. So you're a super tester. Yes. I'm like, hold on. Let me go look on the super tester Discord. For the record, guys, I don't fucking have access to that thing. CCs aren't in there. I don't want to be in there. I don't want to see the headache they have. No. He gets pissed and decides to just slowly start pushing my CV to try and push me across the map slowly because he knows he won't take enough damage from it. And shit talking 10 minutes into the match, probably one of the few times I have intentionally tried to team kill. Only one of two, I think, in the 2 years I've been playing. I just turned and rocket blasted the dude. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Don't shit talk it until you play it. There's too many ways I can check your stats to see if you even have half a clue as to what the hell's going on.
Now, when we're talking about playing this thing, Khreegor, I'm not talking about, I've got like 5 games in it. I have an opinion. No, fuck your 5 games. I'm talking get 30, 40 games in there. Get 50 games in there.
Yeah.
Grind out through tier 6 to 7. Grind out tier 6 to 8. Grind that shit out. Grind out 4. If you don't have any of them, play them. Oh, these are fucking terrible to play against. Go fucking play them. It's fucking hard to get some of these damages on. Now, we're talking about tier 8, especially at the matchmaking. There's, I'm starting to get my numbers up consistently around 70, 80, 90,000, which is still pretty decent, I think. I don't know what the average is, server average is, but I don't think we will know the server average for a while because it's still too new. But this shit is new.
Yeah.
All right, this is still fresh. It's still minted. It's minty fresh. We got the new car fucking smell going on these, or new plane smell, as it were. The JP5 is rolling nice, Khreegor, and it smells good. And you can get high off of the JP5. in the end, guys, if you're having problems with fucking CVs, then get your goddamn division and team up. Use your teamwork. You overlap your AA, whatever you got to do. But fucking have some goddamn teamwork. If it's such a problem, the CVs being such a problem for everybody, teamwork, boys. Teamwork trumps everything in this game. Now you might win some, you might lose some, but teamwork, man.
Don't run 3 grid squares away from the rest of the team and then bitch to me you're getting hammered by a CV.
Yep.
Of course you are. You're an easy target. I don't care if you're a Minotaur out there.
Yep.
Your AA doesn't last up against that much of a hammering.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of other teamwork aspects to this game. And it all starts, fucking port. I mean, I don't really care, Khreegor. I know there's a lot of people out there that give a shit about, I've got to take a destroyer cruiser and a battleship or destroyer and 2 cruisers. We always have to have a destroyer. I don't care about that. That never really bothered me. But lately,
I say take what you have fun with.
Yeah, well, it's not even fun. Just play whatever the fuck you want to. We'll figure out some way to adjust in game. Period. Lately, though, I've been like, man, I really want a fucking cruiser. I really want to sit next to a cruiser. If I'm in a destroyer, I want a cruiser, an AA cruiser with me now. Because of that. The days of just taking whatever you want to willy-nilly are pretty much over, man. If you want to be effective as a division in this game, now you still can, don't get me wrong. You can still do it. But I think the days of just 3 battleship rolling 3 Massachusetts down the middle of 2 brothers, it'll be fun and it'll be a blast. But if there's a CV out there, you're in trouble, bro. You're in trouble. So you have to understand that that's going to happen if you make a play like that. And you see a lot of people complain. You see a lot of people bitch and moan about blah, blah, blah. Well, there's potential for you to have a CV, so why not take something that's going to counter the CV? Or take a team that's one ship out of that 3 that you're taking with you designed to counter those planes. And then play around that guy. Make that guy your fucking, your MacGuffin.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, any more thoughts on teamwork before we get out of here? Because we got a Q&A session here to do, and I'm about to wee on myself.
Man, you could talk Q&A for hours. So no, I think we've rode the horse into the ground and then kicked it a few times at this point.
Yeah, we beat it down. All right, boys. All right, so there you go, guys. That's teamwork. Get some teamwork, boys. Get some teamwork. Think about it. Take this little thing away, Khreegor. Is it good for the team? Is what I'm going to do good for the team? I don't know. That's up to you to decide. There you go. All right, boys, we're going to move on into the question and answering section right now. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything that we talked about, go ahead and leave them in the comment or the comment section below here on YouTube. Or if you guys are here, twitch.tv/SirVenomIK, you guys can hit me up there in the chat at SirVenomIK, right there in the chat, and then we will do it at Khreegor at one of the mods. Excuse me, at one of the mods, and we'll get to those questions. So, Khreegor, I want to say thank you very much for coming back again. I do appreciate it, man. I love doing these podcasts, and I think we went a little bit long here on teamwork, but and did we say anything? That's always the question, man. When we do these podcasts, we're going off on a really long tangent and something that's pretty in depth, but are we really actually saying anything?
I think we gave some good pointers in there amongst all the minutia, because we definitely rabbit holed a few times in it.
Yeah, well.
But I think there were some really good takeaways. There's some nuggets of corn and all that shit we threw at everybody.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, we're hanging out with my man, twitch.tv/Khreegor. You guys can hit him up there, or you can hit him up at his Twitter, at @_Khreegor, because he is the only Khreegor that I know of.
Yeah, somebody else took at Khreegor. They've never posted a thing on Twitter. No clue who they are. So I'm like, nope, I'm the Khreegor. That other guy's just an imposter.
The next one is the OG Khreegor.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. You should go make that now just to have it. So nobody else
Khreegor112@gmail.com. Whatever else.
Man, I go back to Khreegor at AOL.com, baby. What you know about that shit? No, All right, boys, here we go. First comment here. SirVenomIK from Willie Shan. Azuma is super good at long-range farming and total shit at everything else. I don't find it total shit mid-range, but it definitely does not tank mid-range. It's kind of like the Alaska. It does not tank mid-range, but it is definitely better long-range, as most of the Japanese boats are.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I still have a love-hate with the Azuma. I really would love her to be better than she is.
Better.
let me phrase it. She doesn't feel like the Japanese line in her armor with how easy she can get punished, but she doesn't quite feel UK cruiser. She's a weird anomaly to me in between. And I'm a huge cruiser monkey, so I can't quite figure her out. And I think that's what bugs me with her, is I can't figure out where is the sweet spot for this thing. I've been through, I don't even want to count how many test phases. I finally stopped testing the damn thing. I got so tired of it. I don't know. I got to take the final version out now and see if finally I can go, okay, I step back. Where's the sweet spot for the ship before I can really say she's great at this, she's shit at that. Her armor profile, guys, good luck. If one of you can figure it out, please, God, come let me know. Because it's a weird, she's not quite glass, but she's not really armor. She's almost like a Pensacola at tier 9. If you do it right, she'll bounce a shell. If you do it wrong, you're back at port.
You're auto bouncing angles. It's pretty much what you're looking at. The next is Fisherton says this is his 3-man team here: the Scharnhorst, the Boise, and the Z39. That's his 3-man team that he wants to take in.
It's a great balance.
Unfortunately, I think he's a little short on the range with the Boise. Other than that,
the Boise's a great DD hunter to back up the Z.
This is true.
So if you're not using the Boise like a Wooster to sit back and spam the fire, you're using the Boise's low detectability, decent rate of fire to sneak in onto that second row of islands or a little bit farther in. Boise for her tier is a top pick for me for a boat to play.
I love Boise.
If anybody I'm doing div days, I'm just pulling people in every couple of games and they pick that tier. Boise's one of my go-to.
One of your go-tos. All right, Taylor 3006 says, realism. Man, the truth is realism means radar works all the time.
Yeah, I saw that one earlier. Formed in my heart.
Yep. If you want to talk about realism. How did clan battles work? That just started and it opened up for me. So clan versus clan. Number 1, you got to be in a clan. Number 2, they have to be on when the time is on, and then you have to go in there and play. And if you win, then you move up. If you lose, then you move down. I mean, you get points, and then you go to placement games, and you got to win 3 out of 5, and then move up to the next league, and so on and so on. That's the way it works.
Yeah, that was AM Recon, right? That was asking about that one.
I don't remember. It was somebody else. I just hold on. Let me undelete that. That was Tendor.
Oh, Tendor. Okay. Tenedor.
Yeah, Tenedor.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so Tenedor, if you just unlocked it, that means you probably got a tier 8 ship. So it's tier 10s only. 7-on-7, right? Yeah. 7-on-7.
No CVs.
No CVs.
Thank God.
Only one battleship. And as a tier 8, you can rent. It'll cost you about 12 million credits to rent and fully kit out the tier 10. You cannot put camo on it. Unless you're in the practice squad, the We Don't Care for Winning Bravo team, your clan probably is not going to take you until you have a 10. This is not to slam anybody who has to use rental ships because they're not a 10 yet. I appreciate you guys. You're working towards it. You're almost there. But that 2%, dispersion, 3% detectability, or if I've got it backwards the other way, makes a huge difference. Tenedor, it's fork in Spanish. Well, you know what, buddy? I will never tell you to fork you. You'll be Tenedor.
It was like, name your own name to yourself, bro.
Or 4 and 3. Sorry, Lam. I don't use the generic camos, man. I use the ones that I pay attention to how much free XP and Captain XP they're getting me.
Well, I mean, they're automatically on all of the camos except for the type 1, type 2, and then they swap back and forth.
Yeah, Lambo, go get the cap and cap it for me, buddy. Just don't get hit with the radar, okay? I'm gonna watch you from back here behind the island. Just go get the cap for me.
Recon says, I deal with these players every day where I go. I wish the bitching would just stop and you just don't like the game, just stop playing it. And I'm not going to advocate somebody to stop playing the game. I just get tired of hearing the same shtick over and over again. I know a lot of people sit there and they listen to me and talk about the German battleships and how much I hate them and how terrible they are. And people get tired of it and they don't come back and watch the channel. Same thing, guys. If y'all don't like the CVs, then shut the fuck up. We know that they're bad. We fucking know. Wargaming does care about the fucking player base. That's the one that really gets me, Khreegor, Wargaming doesn't play their own game. Wargaming doesn't give a shit about the player base, and they're all in it for the fucking money. Oh boy, man, that thing right there just triggers the shit out of me when in before all the fucking messages I'm gonna get for it.
So,
But no,
here's my question for you.
yeah,
Now that being a CC and seeing all the questions we get from, what are you guys seeing out there? What is the feedback you're getting? What are you guys hearing? Compared to before you were a CC, when you didn't actually, so you knew they communicated before and they cared, but now actually being able to, move the curtain and see the wizard behind it pulling all the gears and levers, how much more, how eye-opening was it for you to realize, holy crap, they really are looking for the feedback and trying to make things decent. They're not just, hey, look, here's a new shiny with a price tag on it, slinging it out there.
Yeah. Well, here's my take on it. Why? The reasons why they did things is always, this didn't make no fucking sense to me. This is stupid. This is the dumbest thing that I've ever heard of. Blah blah blah. And just take anything. Why did you guys do this? What was the mentality behind this decision? I know I'm relatively new to the community contributor program. I've only been a community contributor for this is month number 4. And I went in there and I asked them, I was like, yo, why is this way? Why is that this way? And they sat there and they took the time to explain it to me. And they were like, oh, okay, well, this is the reason why this is, and this is the reason why fire chance is so high, because it's there to fucking counter the battleship's force of HP. And we're not going to change it, so there's no reason to bitch about it. And I'm like, okay. We're not going to change it, and that's their mentality for it. Okay, well, there you go. I've said my piece. I've put my 2 cents in, and I think that a lot of people don't feel like they have a voice. They don't feel like they can put their 2 cents in, and it goes back to that teamwork thing and voicing yourself into the chat. It's all how you approach it. Going in there and say, "Yo, this is broken," is not a constructive thing to get an answer from. Why is it broken? Yeah. What's your fix for it? How would you do it this way? That is the proper back and forth that somebody should have. And I'm guilty just as much as the next guy. This is broken. This is stupid. Y'all need to fix this shit.
Do not. Guys, I'll encourage you, every single one of you. If you've got feedback, you've got input, my folks send me stuff all the time. All you guys here, at the School of Average, give Venom the feedback. But 2 tips I'm going to give you. 1, don't just say, why are you doing this way and not another? What other way? Like if you think there's another way, give an idea. Maybe it's something you didn't think about. Maybe it'll spark thought on it. Give us another solution. The second thing I'm going to give you for feedback is if you want them to pass it on and get you some answers, don't say, well, you should do it this way because Overwatch does it that way. Counter-Strike does it that way. League of Legends does it that way. That's a first-person shooter. That's a MOBA. That's a third-person over-the-shoulder shoot. Those aren't the same games. You can't really compare them across.
Now, oh my God.
He will get laughed.
That's funny.
I'll be honest. The rest of us CCs, if he comes in there and goes, well, Overwatch does it this way, we will troll the living shit out of poor Venom if he ever does that one.
If I ever do that, man, number 1, Overwatch can suck it. League of Legends, I haven't played that. League of Legends ends friendships, so I'm down to not play that ever again. But either way, there's constructive feedback. There's constructive feedback, and then there's just bullshit feedback. And the majority of the people that are out there that you see is bullshit feedback. So those people don't get talked to. Those people don't get replies. So maybe that's why they feel that way. And so I put it on the community out there that if you want to have some feedback, because I've done it multiple times. Hey guys, what do y'all think about this? And then somebody will come in and somebody will say something to me and they'll be like, hey, well, that's a good idea. You want me to send it up there? And I'll send it into the feedback channel and I'll wait for an answer. And if as long as
I see it shit all the time.
Yeah, and if as long as it's not NDA, then I'm all right to tell you. And they'll tell me if it's NDA or not. And some of the things that have been asked have said it's NDA. So I'm like, sorry guys, I can't answer that question for you. My bad. But as long as I don't want to get myself into trouble, but I also want to give you guys information that you guys are asking for. So there's a little thing to take it into the future about your feedback and go onto the forums. Go onto the forums. Kami loves that shit. Kami loves it. Mm-hmm. Radar X, he likes it, I guess, for as much as the next guy. Fem, I mean, they all live for the feedback, man. And as long as it's good feedback. So
Kami and Neisenau are constantly in the forums surfing things. Night 1 of all of us getting to Anaheim, I went over to Radar's to grab something from him. And when he opens the door, there's Neisenau with 2 laptops open and he's going back and forth. And I'm like, what's he doing? He goes, oh, he's monitoring some forum stuff right now. I'm like, why? He goes, there's actually a really good feedback thread going and some ideas bouncing. So he's taking a bunch of notes. I'm like, dude, it's night one. Let's go get a beer. He goes, he looks over at night. He's like, I'll be down with the conversations done. I'm like, dude, it's 8:30 at night. You're at Anaheim with all the CCs. Let's go have fun. No, dude saw an amazing thread with feedback bouncing back and forth. He was literally jotting down notes as the thread is refreshing in the forum. So, like, those dudes love it. Be constructive, though. Don't be a screeching weeb. They don't like that.
Screechy weeb. Willie Shan, a couple of my clanmates have been taking out the Lexington and 2 Ashios in a division and giggling like mad, been spraying those Ashios with walls of skills at the red death balls. Absolutely. Go for it, man. This is something that I highly encourage people. If you're going to have a big death ball, what's the counter to death ball? Torpedoes. Go do it. Go have fun. Yep. Go out there and be like, oh, look, guys, this is a troll. You know they're going to death ball because we got this stuff, though. Let's go out there and let's be jerks. Let's take our Ashios out to the one line and just be assholes. Whatever. Yep. I'm down for stuff like that. Teamwork.
100%.
Denry says, teamwork? What teamwork? This is zero damn teamwork that no one listens to no one. No, I think we commented on that.
Yeah, we kicked that one really well.
Khreegor, my clan regularly uses at least one Zao on our competitive team just to hold down a flank. Combination of stealth range and extreme accuracy works very nicely for chasing away those damn rude Frenchmen.
It does.
Yep.
We run a Zao flank in Berserkers as often as we can when one of our Zao mains is on. I actually run the Henri center map, backline center map, back in towards the cap until I get at least 4 targets aiming at me, and then I start juking and jiving because most of the enemy will go, ooh, Kate and Wally's parked. I'm waiting for that. And that allows our battleships and the rest of our guys from island cover to get one hard smack and in some cases pop a cruiser within the first 2 minutes of the match.
Oh, yeah.
Which now that Zao gets free reign to run on the side because they're going to call back that Henri from the flank to try and deal with me.
Yep.
Zao is beautiful. I love me some Zao. I'm really hoping that the meta shifts where I can play mine a lot more this coming season.
Shift it yourself.
Actually, it's gone right now, isn't it? It started yesterday or some crap.
Is it? I don't know. I don't
yeah, I want to shoot myself in the face.
Those towns. To be honest, the biggest problem with carriers has to do anything with the carriers. It's that people have decided that the correct thing to do with carriers is bunch up into a little ball and abandon the control points. And I just can't understand it because it lets the other team move up and lets the red TV move up, making him able to strike more often and faster. With forcing your own carriers back, making them have to strike less often, and then there's literally nothing that you can do. At worst, it's a nightmare. Totally agree with that. I mean, the same thing with the in the old system of CVs where you would see those CVs at tier 4 go to A1. And it took 5 minutes for their planes to get across the map and then drop, and then 5 minutes to get back. And then you got to be able to be mobile with your CV, but in reasonable ranges. Like if you want to roll to the right-hand side of the map, fine, drop the right side so you can clear out that way. And then once all those people are taken care of on the right side, then maybe you take those long runs across to the left side. Whatever. I mean, there's so many different ways that you could play a CV in this current meta. So, thoughts?
Yep. No, I'm right there with you. If you see the bait ball and you're in a cruiser, the best thing you can do if the bait ball is coming around the A cap, go to the B cap and the C cap, where the island's between you and them so they can't see you, and you get right up on that cap. Get in as tight as you can, keeping yourself safe from torpedoes coming in with a good angle, so that you have AA spamming that entire cap until you're destroyer. Come on in, little buddy, I got your back. If you can drop some smoke for me, I'll sit here and burn these planes down for days.
Yep.
And use the island cover, because island armor, best armor. It's teamwork. You're going to punish the bait ball. You're going to cap them out so quickly. And you're going to be on to the next match knowing those people, drank Drano before they played. A little glue sniffing.
Yeah, there you go. Freaky V says, yesterday I was in a match. They had 2 CVs on each team. The match ended with nothing but the 4 CVs left. It was so cool to watch them shoot it out. That was a very long, slow, boring end to that game then, because the damage potential for the CVs versus CVs is very bad because of all the AA that those CVs have.
Yeah.
It might have been cool to see, but
my smart enough to pair up.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck getting drops in there.
There is one match I watched with 2 CVs being the last ones, and it was very exciting. It was Llama versus, I can't remember the other clan, during Kot's play-in stage, and it literally came down to the 2 CVs on the opposite sides of B cap with an island between them, spamming planes as fast as they could. If the other team could have gotten the Llama CV down, and they had a chance, they were going to win. If Llama survived, they were up 2 caps to 1, they were going to win. And Llama ended up pointing them out for it. But like they knocked down, drag out. The CVs came in to get secondaries in. Like probably one of the few times I was watching a CV versus CV, at the end I went, okay, this is good. And I was casting that one. And let me tell you, that's not an easy thing to try and cast. He launches some planes.
He launched
some more planes. Thanks, Ollie. He launched more planes.
Now for a khreegor weather report. What's going to happen over there? It's going to rain planes.
Got some dive bombers. Nope, some torpedoes.
It's odd to like to do dogfights with my CV. That's probably the main problem when I'm seasoned now. So Recon CV dogfighting went away with the new rework, and the reason for it going away was one guy would be really good at it, the other guy would be really shit at it, and it would ruin that other guy's game. So they, instead of these people learning how to play, and I'm guilty of that too, because I went to tier 6 and was like, fuck, tier 7 kicks my ass, I'm not going to play anymore, and I didn't really feel like taking the time to do it. They just quit, and they dumbed it down for everybody. To now that other carrier, other than dropping on me and dropping those little fighters, that's the only counter CV that you can do. That's it. That's the only counter CV play that you get anymore. Yep. Recon also says, seems like the players would love CVs, warship CVs. If there were one on each squad, every battle makes a CV mission would curve the bitching down to a minimum 0. I think that CVs have, you can do doubles at 4 and 6, 8s maybe, but 10s are too strong. They're too strong. They have too much of an impact on the game. They're at 10. Other than that, one at 10, and maybe you can one at 8, 2 at 8, whatever. They're really not much. 2 CVs.
I think 8.
I don't know.
An up tier. So if the CV is top tier at 8, I still think most 6 and 7s have the AA to be able to handle them without a problem. I should say without a problem. Effectively, we'll word it effectively. Where most their CV cannot handle the hit point pool and everything that a midway's bringing, which is why I think they restricted it there. Also, you get 2 CVs per side, and they're both 8s against 10s. You need as many planes as you coming in to spread that damage to try and actually get a drop. So I think that was kind of what they were looking at. They're coming up with it is, can the tiers lower handle the ones above? If yes, move on to the next tier. Do we limit this one? Or it could just be, let's test it at 10.
Yeah.
That's where all the bitching is. If it works, we'll trickle it downhill.
Yeah, but they don't care because they don't want broken. They want broken stuff. Sir Venom's,
they
like
want
I
broken
said,
premiums.
They want broken ships. Period. I don't care about premiums. Like I said earlier, the whole ball up and hide mentality is awful. If it's ever time for the community contributors to make a huge difference, now is my opinion about having them all work together to show off how bad the death ball is and everything, and demonstrating the correct thing to do, which is to play the game instead of hiding from it. Big old, my opinion, tag on that one. I mean, it's what we try to do every day. I mean,
yeah.
I know there's sometimes that we have to be involved in the death ball, and that's just the way the game is. Sometimes you didn't know that it was going to end up being a death ball, but it ended up being a death ball anyway, especially when you're like, okay, guys, we're going to A, and then you turn around about a minute and a half later, and everybody from D has come across the fucking map to try to go to A, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why are you not pushing forward and straight in front of you? And it always drives me nuts when you do that, especially on that map, straight in the middle tiers. Everybody wants to go north to south on that fucking map. And instead of going forward and fighting over the C cap, what do? The bottom goes straight north, and then they give up free points, and then you're behind. You've automatically put people behind. So I mean, sometimes there's no options. You have to death ball or just I don't know. But for the most part, any CC that I know of will play what's in front of them. They won't go across the board for no reason.
I'll usually talk it out. You'll hear me talk it out. I'll look at the map lineup. Okay, I got these on this side. I got this on this side. I'm going to have a better impact if I go reinforce over here. Here's why.
Yeah.
Now, if all of a sudden the entire rest of the team follows me, I can't help that one. But I always like to talk it out. So if people are like, well, you spawned in the middle. Why do you go to that side instead of that side? I get that question a lot, where I've gotten the habit of, I'm in my Seattle. Okay, I've got a Des Moines and a Minnow spawned on the right. My left side's got a Hindenburg and, insert, Ibuki on the other side. So I've got pretty decent AA. I'm going to go reinforce that side because they don't have enough cover for those battleships. Or, we got 2 DDs spawned left, only 1 spawned right. I'm going to shift left because in the cruiser, that's where their DDs are going to be spawned. And those are the ones I want to knock out early. So I like to talk through it. So people are like, well, why are you doing this? Why aren't you in with the team? Why'd you off on your own? Because at the start of the game, based on our deployment, I made this decision. Was it always right? Hell no. If it was, I'd have a 100% win rate.
Yeah, there you go. So in the end, this goes back to teamwork. But with those people on straight, that they go straight north and it's domination. Okay, maybe that's fine for standard battle. You can make one slim argument for standard battle. But if you're playing on something like straight on domination, it has no bearing whatsoever, and you should always fight for what's in front of you. Even if you're not going to cap that thing, then you can stall it out long enough to where the top team is going to do something. And that's basically what you're playing for. Okay, we are a holding action, we are kiting, we are stalling them out, we are losing our lives to give the rest of the team time to catch up. We are the vanguard or whatever it is. I'm okay with that. I mean, that's teamwork, boys. That's teamwork.
Yep.
I'm a weird DD player that I actually rarely use my smoke to do damage. It ends up resulting almost always finishing DD games with multiple smokes left. And I save my smokes for exactly 2 situations. 9 times out of 10, A, it's a disengage. B, help a teammate disengage from intense HE spammies. I won't do it for AP, but that's on them. The HE spam is effing awful, so I throw it some sympathy. I also find most DD players try to use their smokes to go invisible and to try shooting. There's some boats out there that benefit from smoking and shooting. Kitakaze, Harry Gumbo, Akizuki, the Kid. Kid is great if you're shooting. There's a lot of other boats out there that take their smoke and can work it, but for the most part, if my recollection here is they wanted smoke to be a defensive tool and not an offensive tool, and this is what the big reason was for the smoke change for like the Belfast and the Kudryasov and stuff like that. I know those are cruisers, and it may be a different story for them, but for the most part, defensive smoke is pretty much 90% of what most people use anyway. Very rarely. You find a rare occasion where somebody's going to use their smoke for offenses. What do you think?
Yeah, I typically use mine for Ninja Vanish. Leave a smoke trail and zigzag it.
Yeah.
So if as I'm dodging, it covers a wider spread so I can get out of there. Or, I'll come in towards the cap and I'll leave a smoke trail coming off the island, and I'll touch the cap, but I'm heading right back out the far side of it. So they burn radars, and all they're seeing is those cruisers looking right back at them going, hi, who are opening fire on them because I'm keeping vision.
Right.
But other than maybe the Haragumo, if I think my team is going to be smart enough to keep vision for me and I'm not the one providing it all, I'll do it in the Harry Gumbo, the Kitakaze. But no, typically I'm a big fan of defensive smoking or setting up the team.
Right. Well, there you go. Why? Because you fucking teamwork, man. Fucking teamwork, bro. Teamwork makes a dream work. That's what I'm talking about. All right, boys, we're going to go one more little comment, and then we're going to go because I'm about to explode here. Harold says something I thought was kind of cute here. Actually, when playing really good division, your win rate might go up, but your other stats will go down because your boys are that good. They steal your kills and damage. Hey, man, and that's fine. I have no problem with people taking my kills unless I have 4. If I have 4 and I want that fucking Kraken, give me that Kraken, motherfuckers. I got 4. On the other hand, you guys are playing together. Khreegor, you play together with your boys all the time. I play with my boys. Our stats are relatively similar to each other. You know, our win rate's pretty much the same. Our damage goes up and down. It fluctuates together, and depending on You know, maybe I'm not having a good game and I'm playing a battleship and it's the off battleship day, and or a game where you don't hit shit and there's nothing you can do about it because you're dispersing shit. And then this guy's able to actually hit everything. I have those all the time. So I totally agree with that. Your teamwork can to make it make or break it. So there you go.
Everything's better when you're part of a team. That's about as much singing as I'm doing.
Everything is awesome. Everything is average. Let's go with everything is average when you're part of a team. All right, boys, that's it for us, man, here at episode 23. Cross Your Bow podcast is now in the books. I want to give a big shout out and thanks to my man Khreegor for coming on. Twitch.tv/Khreegor. You guys can hit him up on his Twitter at _Khreegor. I am, of course, Sir Venom IK. You guys can hit me up here, right here, twitch.tv/Sir Venom IK or at Sir_Venom_IK. You got any last minute things for him before we get out of here?
No, nothing too last minute, guys. Just, hang out, keep it cool, give the pings, do some teamwork, stop being salty monkeys. No, everything special coming up. No torpedoes for troops coming up anytime soon. Otherwise, I'd plug that for those guys because they're awesome. We just did our Shoot the Ships episode. The wrap-up of COTS last night, so that's on my VODs if you guys want to see it.
There you go.
Sea Raptor NA, the voice of warships, as we call them, just to harass them and give them a hard time. And then Big Mike, one of the main refs for NA and one of the longtime veteran refs for EU, was on there with us. So a lot of fun to be had in that one. So check it out.
Sounds like a good time, man. You guys want to link that? I'm assuming it's over on YouTube.
I have not pulled down the VOD yet, so it's still just a VOD on my channel at the moment.
Well, just link me up to the YouTube channel or whoever's got it, and I'll throw it into the description below as well.
And sometime soon we need to get you back on. You got to do the duet for me, sir. We gotta come up with some good topics and drag you over.
All right, man. Let me know. We'll get it done.
Yeah, we got to do Destroyer Line, getting ready to come out. I think it'd be a good time. We'll have to
the French
once
DD
we can
line,
talk
man.
about the Frenchies.
Well, I don't know much about them yet. I think we've seen pictures and shit, and we've talked about them. But we've actually got stats and stuff for them. So we did a long talk about them last week, and so yeah, man, I'm ready to talk about whatever you guys want to.
But initial stats and third round of testing are going to be completely different.
Totally.
That's what I think we need to drag you back over there to break it down.
I'm hoping for a whole bunch of fucking Laterals, man. I fucking love that boat, dude.
Oh my god!
I absolutely love the Lateral, man. I think
if you were so nice, we couldn't be friends anymore after you loving that boat.
Dude, it's such a good boat, bro. It's such a good boat. I don't care if you get hit up and everything, man. It is a kebab at tier 8, and it's fast.
I don't know if it's fast, indigestion or heartbreak hearing that.
Oh. Mind blown, boys. All right, that's it, man. I got you, bro. Say goodnight there, Mr. Khreegor, and we'll get the hell out of here. We'll go on and play some games if you're down to play.
Good night, Mr. Khreegor.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Khreegor. I love it, man. All right, guys, that's it, man. I love you, man. Cross Your Bow episode 23 is now over. Guys, we'll give us here just a second. We'll come up in some real games now. Then we'll go back into the irregular channel.